Welcome, dude. This is your bro Kage free game, joined by my dude Ryzen on the left hand of me. Also joined by my boy Black Uchiha. And today, dudes, we're gonna be talking about chapter 31 of Two Blue Vortex. Yeah, man. This thing's gnarly.
Sick.
So just playing. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Cloud Ninja podcast. This is your boy Free, joined by Ryzen and Black Uchiha. Today we're going to be talking about chapter 31 of Two Blue Vortex. If you're watching this later, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that hype button. So anybody else who's interested in Boruto, they can tap in, and it helps us with the algorithm. If you have any questions or anything, leave a super chat, leave a comment. We'll be engaged with the comments as well. But yeah, so let's go ahead and start off. How you guys felt about the chapter?
I liked it actually. Solid 9 out of 10. I feel like for a second to last volume chapter, it laid the foundation to what could potentially end the Mamushi arc, and it gave us bits and pieces of information that I really want to talk about.
Yeah.
Relax, yeah, no, for sure. Honestly, this chapter right here, or I don't want to say it was one of the best chapters, but it has to be as of right now. Maybe because it's new and it's fresh. You know how things are when it's new and fresh. It probably has to be one of my favorite chapters, just because it was so much going on, but it was so much interesting things going on at one time that um, all came to the same conclusion. And I like that it wasn't just a whole bunch of random going on. It was everything that led up to one thing. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this chapter. Of course, for the obvious reasons, which we'll discuss later on. But yeah, overall, really great chapter in my opinion.
Facts. Yeah, I pretty much agree. For the most part, it's like a typical chapter to me, and typical
Mm.
being like it's a great chapter. So it's been following the trend so far in TBV. Nothing out of the ordinary, nothing that I would have wished happened or I would probably take out. So I got no reason to put it lower than a 10.
Yeah, I don't either. Maybe because I don't really like putting things at a 10 because I always feel like
Same.
it's room for improvement in every medium. So I would definitely give it like a 9, maybe a 9.5 if I want to push it up a little bit.
That's 100% fair.
What about you, Ryzen? As far as a rating, what would you give it?
Yeah, I'd say 8, 9. I'm with you on a 9. Like I've been trying not to give them 10s anymore because it feels like if I give a chapter a 10, I'll be giving almost every chapter a 10. So I'm trying to balance my rankings.
Yeah, I'm the opposite of y'all. I just like I accepted my fate. So I'm like, I gotta stick with my consistency. So I'm finding right now. I was like, I'm looking for a chapter that I would be actually willing to give lower than a 10 or admit that this might be the greatest chapter of all time. So that's where I'm at. So if I'm not one of those, then it's probably just a 10 for me.
Me with the 10s, like if I see something as a 10, it gotta have readability. Like it gotta be one of those chapters that I want to go back to and read no matter what. Like it can be 5, 10 years down the line. I'm like, oh, let me reread that chapter. Like certain episodes of Boruto, like it just has that rewatch, or Naruto that just has that rewatchability. Even if you don't want to go back and watch Naruto fully through or watch Boruto fully through, it's always that one episode or one fight scene that you want to rewatch. So it's the same thing with chapters to me. If it has that rereadability to me, where I can go back and I can read that chapter again and feel the same way I felt the first time I read it, it's a 10.
Yeah, I feel that 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can respect that. I can respect that, but it's like I'm one of those. I'm not gonna cap. Like I'm one of those. I don't reread a lot. I would be like, yeah, I'm gonna reread the Boruto chapter. I probably skim through a chapter or two. Like I've looked over multiple chapters again. I got like physical volumes, so I got no choice to. But ultimately, as far as like rereading, it just be one of those things. Like it's a one and gun, one shot. Boom, it's in my memory bank, and that's it. Unless I need to touch up on something specific, I probably won't reread. But I still buy the volumes for some reason.
The thing with me and rereading or like rewatching things is the reason why I would reread or rewatch is because when you watch something for the first time, you miss shit. And then when you watch it for the second time, you're like, or read it for the second time or watch it, whatever you choose. You're like, damn, I didn't even realize I missed that. Bro, I went back, like, sorry to tie this back to the MCU, but I went back and watched Iron Man for like the 12th time. And I'm like, fuck, I didn't even remember that. Like, You know what I mean? Like it's certain things that you just catch that you when you watch again, since you already know everything that's going to happen, like you start like picking up on things that you didn't even like realize when you first watched it because you thought that you knew everything.
100%, 100%. And I tend to go back sometimes in Naruto. Like I feel like I've read so much Naruto that I tend to pinpoint most of what I need. But I do love going back occasionally just like confirm and get like more information like on certain abilities, certain like phrases and what like they said.
Mhm.
And I feel like that's a situation where people overreact because I feel like a lot of the complaints we get with Boruto right now is because people forget those little tidbits of information that was given to us already.
Yeah, exactly, exactly, exactly. Hey, let's start off with page one of
Yes,
the
I got the
chapter.
chapter right up here.
Start off with page one. Where we start off at with page one? We started off with the cliffhanger with,
Yes.
yep,
And,
with
Enojin has really leveled up in my mind. Like I used to be a firm Enojin hater, and he turned me.
still
Ikamoto turned me.
not turned.
Really? That is interesting. Maybe I can sway you.
Baby, go
so
ahead.
so we have Koji telling Enojin to like Kobudai undo the jutsu. If he doesn't undo the jutsu and he gets killed, the way the mind transfer jutsu work, if your host body gets killed where you're possessing them, you get killed too.
Is that really is that how the mind transfer work, or is that this certain ability? That's one thing that threw me off. I was like, I never heard about that one.
Yeah, so basically, if a Yamanaka clan member is possessing someone and the body they're possessing takes damage, the damage reflects to their physical body.
Oh,
So if
that's a sorry ass ability, but all right.
yeah, so it actually happened to Ino. So if you remember back in the tuning exams, when I think Ino body swap, she possessed Kin, the sound ninja, and one of the guys hit her, and Ino took the same damage in her body. So it's a double edged sword. If you possess someone, you gotta like cancel that jutsu before you get killed, basically.
Mm.
So you have Inojin basically trying to like keep Kobu's body alive, but who's a civilian, he's gonna have trouble.
He said
Uh,
he's moving sluggish. I was like,
yes, but this is where Inojin really turned it around for me.
too many Thunderburgers.
It, uh, he's basically embodying Naruto's will of fire because if we remember,
Yeah.
15 to 20 years ago, sacrificing a civilian wouldn't be a big deal. Most of the Kages would do it. Danzo would definitely do it. That's not Naruto's way. So you get to see how the new generation is basically fighting for Naruto's ideology. Where, yeah, if I can't protect someone under such conditions, I don't deserve to call myself a shinobi. As long as they have breath, they're gonna fight. So it feels like Shikamaru, and to an extent, Sai, and to an extent, the older generation kind of lost that once Naruto quote unquote died. But the new generation grew up with that. So it's really interesting to see you have Boruto's mentality on one side with Inojin and the new gen. Then you have Kawaki's mentality on the other, where he's on the same line of not Kobu, Koji,
Koji.
where if he needs to sacrifice someone for the greater good or sacrifice someone for Naruto's life, he's gonna sacrifice that person no matter what.
Right.
He tried to do it with Sarada. He's been doing it with Boruto, and it just shows us that old ideology of a shinobi versus Naruto's kind of relatively new ideology where, yeah, I don't want to sacrifice people if I don't have to. Even if it benefits me, I want to find a different way. Just like how Boruto wanted to find a different way to save Konohamaru, just like how he doesn't want to kill Kawaki, just like how Naruto didn't want to kill his own son, even though Mamushiki was a valid threat. So just kind of like leveled up in my eyes. Like he's embodying that will of fire, and it's getting really hard to hate him, unfortunately.
Not really, but go. I feel you.
But yeah, we get that. Then we get we get a little tidbit of Ada just like being annoyed that she can't really see what's going on.
Mhm.
Daemon asks her why doesn't she use the Senragon, and we go back to when Mamushi looked into Ada's eyes. And I feel vindicated for this because I feel a couple months ago we were on a pod, and I told Barb that he can see through, like he can see her like where she is, and we were kind of going back and forth about he probably could only sense her and stuff, and I said he could see her,
Yeah,
and she confirms it.
Yeah.
Converse,
Then-
our eyes met the one time I watched that geezer. He could definitely see me. I suspect he can gather intel from looking into other people's eyes.
Yeah, and then also, I don't mean to skip ahead. There's also a panel on here where it says, "Once I lock eyes with her, I'll know her location."
Yes.
So that kind of confused me right there, just from the simple fact that he locked eyes with her. So why the hell don't you know her location? Why
So
are these guys still scrambling and looking for her?
so basically, this happened in chapter 5, I think. So she was in the cafe.
Oh,
So
okay. I
she
thought
had,
this was just now. I
yeah.
thought this just
This
happened now.
so this was flashbacking. So this, I think
Yeah,
you were
it's
there
flashback.
too. I think you remember our
Oh, okay.
conversation.
Okay. I'm thinking this is happening in real time. I thought
No, so this was the
she asked
flashback.
him and then he tried it. Then she went to use the Senrion real quick, and then
Yes,
he caught on to it. Okay, got you. Now
yes.
it
And
makes
then
more sense. I'm like, that
remember that?
makes
Well, like
sense.
when I was
Got it.
talking to Bora, and I said, yeah, he can see her, but then we kind of like went back and forth because it wasn't like clear. Like we had like the black background, so we couldn't like really see the background. And I said it's kind of self-explanatory because the reason why she's not using her center gun is because he can see her. He can
Yeah.
actually tap into her eyes and see what she's doing, see the vicinity of her area, and pinpoint her location. So that's why she's not using the center gun. We finally got the confirmation because he'll know exactly where she is.
Right.
After that,
That
we
makes
have
sense.
Delta and Sarada scoping out the divine trees. And we've gotten to a point where Mamushi's gotten so dumb where he's even attacking himself now, ironically enough.
Finally, finally, because I was saying that before. I was like so conflicted. I was like, bro. Then they say if he like multiplies his body too many times, his intelligence drops dramatically.
Man, this the same Mamushi people was telling me, yo, Damon gotta look out at the start of this
Chill,
arc. It's
chill,
like, oh,
chill,
Damon
chill,
gotta look out. I'm like, bro, like,
chill. We
I
ain't,
be,
we
Hey,
even there yet,
we
though.
ain't there yet. Hey, he's got a point. We
You
ain't
don't, you
there yet.
don't, you don't know.
man, I've
Give
been.
me a
I'm
second.
gonna tell you. I'll tell you this. This never ceases to amaze me, especially within the later halves of Boruto as a story. I'll be like so ahead on a certain opinion or certain stance. And
You're
then
not.
every single time I slowly watch everybody else come on, like, okay, everybody, and then I'm just like, it's no even point for me to be like, hey, I was the pioneer, because I'm like, I knew this was gonna happen. It's
No,
like
you
that.
didn't
You
know
see so
anything
many
was
people
gonna happen.
calling Mamushi a
What
fraud
happened?
these days. Do you
But
see
here's
so
the
many
thing.
people?
What
I,
happened?
here's the thing, though, and we can talk about Mamushi, but like we gotta remember, in a future timeline, he succeeds, whether that's through brute force or just trickery. That's still to be seen. But I feel like people are treating this arc way too easily because things are kind of going our way. We got to remember things aren't as cut and dry as they seem, and we can see this where once the Mamushi clones get rowdy, Sarada basically steps in and she activates her Well, I'm skipping ahead. We get the little Sai. What do you guys think about Sai's like mentality in this? Because it seemed like it was hard for him to like
Threw me
go
for a
back
loop,
into that
bro.
shinobi mentality.
Threw
Nah,
me for a
it
loop.
fits for his character. It fits for his character. It makes
Not
sense.
not for me though, because me, maybe I'm so used to the stoic side who doesn't really show himself like being put under pressure or anything like that. Maybe I'm so used to Shippuden side that it doesn't fit his character for me, because like you can tell that he's feeling some type of way. Like I was saying, man, I think Sai is up to something. I think Sai knows everything that's going on. Sai's just playing, playing dumb, or not playing dumb, but playing like he is unaware or he's in
Yeah.
a blind. But it comes to find out, Sai don't know shit.
100%. And
He's
I feel
walking
like
around with that heavy ass thing on his fucking waist for no reason. He don't know nothing.
and I feel like there's two things. One, that upskills Shikamaru because we gotta remember it was Sai that told Shikamaru about what Amado said. Shikamaru believed Amado because he hates Amado. It seems like Sai just brushed that tidbit off. So he's like operating by the book. And we kind of have definitive proof now. And again, it could also just be like because Inogen is in danger, but it also shows us Sai's character development. Like you said, Shippuden Sai would have listened to his superior no matter what. And it just goes to show how
Yeah, that's true.
Naruto, Team 7, and Ino have changed him, especially now that he's a parent, now that he has his own kid. And it really shows how emotional he is too, to where Shikamaru actually has to give him that playbook. Yeah, we're shinobi first before we're parents. Like, you got to protect the village first. You signed up for this. You're the head of the
Thank
Amu
you,
Black Ops.
Naruto, kind of.
Yeah, it goes to show where even though they're shinobi, they still have feelings. Shikamaru went through the same thing with Shikadai when Amado had the bomb on his neck. Naruto went through the same thing with Kawaki and
That's right.
Boruto,
Yeah.
and now Ino went through the same thing with Inojin, and now Sai's going through the same thing with Inojin. And like we're seeing all the parents break these rules for their kids. Sasuke did it with Sarada. Boruto did it. Sakura does it to an extent. We haven't seen Sakura though, so we can't really say. But it's really interesting to see how they've grown and kind of developed as they've became parents.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's true. Like I said, I think I'm just going back to old Sai. But yeah, you're right. We're seeing them as parents now, how they fold under pressure when it comes to their children, especially if you're putting their children in danger. I understand Sai as a parent too, like, hey bro, where's my son at? What do you got my son doing? Like secret mission. No, I'm his dad, bro. Like, what secret mission is he on right now? Like, you're gonna have to let me know, or we're gonna have to swap hands, bro. Like, I don't know what the hell you talk about
and,
right now.
and you know, seeing that little the little tidbit, it reminded me back on in Shippuden when Kushina and Minato went through the same thing. Kushina didn't want Naruto to be a Jinchuriki, but what does Minato tell her? Yeah, if we abandon the village, that will be like abandoning our kid. And he told her she should know because she's the one who lost her country and her village. And it's really interesting to see how we parallel like the older series. I have the page right now, and then Kushina says, "Why does Naruto have to be sacrificed for the Biju balance for the country for the village? Why do you have to sacrifice yourself for my sake?" Minato gives her that speech basically that yeah, you're a shinobi. To forsake one's country and one's village is the same as forsaking one's child. You whose birth nation is no more ought to know that too. Well, no. So it's really interesting to see that to an extent they have to find a balance between protecting their loved ones but also doing their job.
Yeah.
Because they owe their allegiance to the village, they owe their allegiance to the people. They swore an oath to protect the people. That can include their kids, but they also have to understand that to an extent there's a greater good. So you have to find that balance where you're not going to go overboard like Kawaki, but you're also not going to go guns blazing like what Sakura and Sumire kind of did, where yeah, we're going to tell everyone about omnipotence even though it's futile. We got to find a balance to where we have to protect the village and protect our loved ones and find a clear balance on that.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely true. And yo, and shout out to Ready SG for the $5 donation. If anybody want to leave a super chat and support the channel, I truly appreciate it. He said that boy Sai was like, I don't want to have to steal off on you, man. Let me know something. That's what I was doing, bro.
Sai kind of looked like he was about to be a Donzo. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna listen to the Hokage. I'm gonna make my own like root foundation.
He was going to steal off on Shikamaru.
Yo, he was about to put a pause on Shikamaru, bro. He was about to throw all the what's his jutsu called? Slip my head.
The super beast scrolls.
The beast scrolls. He was about to throw a whole bunch of beast scrolls at him. All hands. He was about to draw all hands and beat the shit out of
You trying to see the concept of the Konoha Zoo right now, man?
Where's my son, bro?
No, what are you having my son do? I don't care if you're the Hokage. Like, it's funny because technically Inojin is Shikamaru's underling. Like, he should listen to what Shikamaru is doing, but Sai doesn't care. He doesn't care if he's Hokage or temporary Hokage or whatever. He basically pulled the rank on Shikamaru and said, I'm in charge of running this interrogation, so answer me, Shikamaru, before it gets ugly. He's about to go on business, which is like really funny and really uncharacteristic of Sai, like young Sai. Like adult Sai is a different story, but young Sai would never have did that.
Oh yeah, exactly. Marlo said he needs me to explain my hate for Inojin. His haircut.
The same thing. See, look, even this is a perfect example too.
His haircut.
Inojin fan base had grown from a whopping 3 members, including myself, at the start of TBV to like we got a whole solid 55 people and counting into this fandom now. I think Ryzen just entered through the doors.
Yeah, believe me, I was the biggest Inojin hater.
I know.
The second
every time I mention Inojin, the first thing people say is his hair. There's no point in me arguing. I'm like, it's going to happen. People
but he convinced me. Bro. He convinced me. Like, unfortunately,
it was his haircut before before Boruto even said something about the bowl cut, bro. It was the haircut for me, bro.
See, like, unfortunately, Inojin just convinced me. First of all, he's committing treason. even though he doesn't mess with Boruto, he's still committing treason for Himawari to the point where he's willing to put aside his personal feelings, which that's really hard to do. And he's
Yeah,
embodying Naruto's will. I can't hate him. Unfortunately, I can't. I tried. I can't. I lost. Enojin won. That's all I can
It'd be
say.
like that. I was one of the few. It'd be like that
a
though.
real
It'd
one.
be like that. I was one of the few who was eagerly awaiting his return when he was in that coma. Because I was like, bro, he sold me back then. I'm like, this is crazy work right here.
Nah,
Team
he a
10
real
had my
one.
respect. That's why I was like, bro, are we not seeing the greatness from Enojin right now? The way he just stepped up. But I
He a real one.
appreciate the coming around. You feel me?
He a real one. I'm not a fan. He a real one. I give him that. I just need my boy to go visit a different barber.
Man, he
That's it.
makes the haircut work, bro.
No,
I
he
never tripped. I never tripped off of his haircut because it's like, bro, it is what it is, gang. That's what you do. That's
bro look like Justin Bieber in fucking 2012, bro. No,
I'm gonna be honest. I gotta blame me. I gotta blame Eno's the
baby,
fashion person. So
baby,
she's letting her
baby.
son walk around with that haircut.
That boy walking around looking like Justin. He looking like Biebs, bro. All right, let's get to the next panel, though. My bad.
But we go back to Mamushi attacking the civilians, and then we got the peak Mangekyo Sharingan or Hirume, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't get the hate that Sarada's been getting on Twitter. Like I don't interact with the Boruto Twitter, but I do read it. And it's really interesting because there's so many weird nitpicks and disingenuous things. Like I don't think this is disingenuous, but a few people were asking why she says Mangekyo Sharingan every time she activates her Mangekyo Sharingan, and she's.
I don't
I feel like
think
people
that's
forget.
what she's saying. Do you think
I
she's
did see
saying
that.
it, or do you think she's actually verbally saying? I know it's the bubbles and stuff like that, but do you think she's verbally saying it, or is this like
she said it this chapter.
She said it.
okay?
She
So
said
is
it.
it like artists want to let the audience know what's going
She
on?
also said it in the chapter where she activated it, but I feel like people are forgetting something.
I don't think she was saying it there though. I think it was just
Yeah, I don't think she was saying it in this chapter. And I think it was Mitsuki. It was like the chapter was saying it, and then Mitsuki was like the one like Mangekyo Sharingan.
Hang on, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Mangekyo Sharingan or Hirume. So when she said it with Ryu.
Oh yeah, at the end she did say this.
either. She doesn't say it. There's no text bubbles that's coming. Like the bubbles will point to her mouth, wouldn't
Yes,
it?
she says
Oh
it here.
yeah.
In the new one, in the latest chapter, she says Mangekyo Sharingan or Hirume, but there's a reason why she's saying it. I feel like people are glossing this over, but in addition to her ability being called Ohirume, her Mangekyo Sharingan is also called Ohirume. So her dojutsu is called Ohirume. If you go to the Boruto database, they talk about it. Ohirume, the name of both Sarada's awakened Mangekyo Sharingan and its ability. So the Sharingan itself is called Ohirume.
Do y'all think this is her only ability, judging by what it's a data book saying then?
No.
Because it's saying both eyes.
I don't think it's her only ability so far, but we do know that her Mangekyo Sharingan is called Ohirume, and her ability currently is called Ohirume too. It's like, unlike Sasuke, who doesn't have a Mangekyo Sharingan that has a name,
Right.
he just has this Amaterasu ability and his flame control.
Exactly.
But they specifically say her awakened Mangekyo Sharingan is called Ohirume. So when she's activating her Mangekyo Sharingan and saying Mangekyo Sharingan, she has to say Ohirume because that's what the Mangekyo Sharingan is called.
Mangekyo Sharingan is called.
Yes.
Got you.
So I feel like people kind of glossed that over. They didn't read the database, and the volume hasn't come out, so at least in English, so we don't really have it. But the database says it. Like her Sharingan is called Ohirume. So just like how you're activating the Byakugan and you say the Byakugan, you're gonna say the full name of your dojutsu,
right,
which is Ohirume.
Yeah. I agree with you on that one. Question that me and Black, we was talking about this in the group chat. We was talking about her actually going blind. I mean, I guess the whole community is talking about her going blind. I shouldn't just say me and Black, but past users, the only users that we really seen with the Mangekyo that activated it was Sasuke and Itachi.
Yes.
Sasuke and Itachi pretty much spammed not spam. I want to say that sparingly. Well, Sasuke spammed the shit out of his Mangekyo, so I would say spam for him. But Itachi, not so much. We didn't get to see him really spam his Mangekyo really to a certain extent. He used it against, I think, Kakashi.
Yes.
and against Sasuke once.
He used it against Jiraiya. He used it like
Yes.
3
When he
times
used
in
the
that Jiraiya
Amaterasu.
fight.
But
He
here's
used
the thing. I
Okay,
feel like
but still, where I'm trying to drive my point to is like Sasuke. At least if I'm just going to just draw it to Sasuke, he battled with his Mangekyo and he was using it several times. He used the Susanoo. I mean, he always opened his Susanoo ribs and everything. Like, and then he ended up going blind after what the five Kage summit or some shit like that.
Yeah,
great
but
game. I'm glad you said this because we got to remember though. I feel like people are forgetting because that moment was so hype and because that's when we started realizing that Sasuke's eyesight was nearly gone. We forget that he started losing his eyesight way before then. We got to
wait,
remember.
Really?
Yes,
yeah.
and I have all the
See, that's why I
chapters
said
up.
I have to rewatch
Yes.
things sometimes because
So,
I miss
so
it.
I feel like people are forgetting because this is the current chapter. Sarada hasn't fully lost her eyesight. It's just starting to blur. She's starting to lose it. Every time you activate the Mangekyo Sharingan, you start losing your eyesight. It's a progressive thing. Just you activating it the first time makes you lose some eyesight.
It's a
So
it's like a darkness. It's a light that is inevitably leading. However Madara describes it, it's inevitably leading to the darkness
yes.
unless you
So I
replace
pulled
it.
up some old panels, and let's see, share this. So we have chapter 385 of Naruto. We have Itachi explaining the Mangekyo Sharingan. The Mangekyo Sharingan are very special eyes. From the moment they awaken, they continuously progress toward darkness, and the more you use them, the quicker they become sealed. It's not a training thing. It's not a who you are thing. It's just how the eyes work. There's no Uchiha curse. There's no nothing. That's literally how your genetics work. Once you activate the Mangekyo Sharingan, even just activating it, you start gradually losing some eyesight. So
Yep.
if we go to chapter 408, we have Sasuke using his Mangekyo Sharingan in battle technically for the first time. He casts a Genjutsu on the Hidden Cloud Ninja. So he casts a
Strains the
Genjutsu.
fuck out of his eye just using that
Yes.
one genjutsu.
Like he could have used the base Sharingan, but he was high on power, so it is what it is. We go to the next few chapters. So we have Sasuke using his Mangekyo on Killer B. He uses a Genjutsu on Killer B. He's straining his eyes. We see him clearly holding his eyes. We also have to remember that this Sasuke has the added ability of getting healed by Karin
Right, true,
and
true.
getting healed by Jugo. But we got to remember, you can't really heal the Mangekyo Sharingan.
Right.
So you're going to get blind either way. That's just going to keep you up on your feet.
Mm-hmm.
Next chapter, we have Sasuke using Amaterasu for the first time. What's the difference with Amaterasu compared to other Mangekyo Sharingan abilities? Once you cast Amaterasu, you're not continuously feeding it chakra anymore.
Yeah,
You're just letting it burn. Unless you turn it off.
Yeah.
So he uses the Mangekyo Sharingan. He casts Amaterasu. So he strains his eyes again. We can see him cover his eye again, right? And Karin gets hit by the Amaterasu. He figures out his other eye has the ability to cancel out Amaterasu, which is flame control. So he turns off Amaterasu on Karin, feels the strain again on his eyes. We can see here. Closes his eyes. He then uses flame control one more time to extinguish the Amaterasu on Killer B, and his eyes again take damage. So this is his first fight with the Mangekyo Sharingan. Then we go to the chapter where the battle was done, and then we see him losing eyesight. See, his eyesight blurs. This is when we start to see him progressively losing his eyesight. Same thing. Oh, it's almost bar for bar what happened to Sarada.
This is before he even activates his Susanoo for the
Yes.
first time, mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he
It's
already
it's
started
just the
losing his
same
eyesight.
pattern. That's all
Yes.
it is.
I feel like people are just forgetting because it wasn't until the Hokage Summit where he actually couldn't actually fight anymore. Once the Hokage Summit was done, once he killed Danzo, once he fought Naruto, he needed that transplant for his EMS. He couldn't. It was too grave to disregard anymore. It's the same thing what's going on with Sarada. She activated the Mangekyo Sharingan as a kid when she was 12. She activated it again when she was 15. She beat Ryu. She lost eyesight during the Ryu fight. Well, it was negligible back then. Now in this fight, she's starting to feel that damage, just like Sasuke. It's literally almost bar for bar. We also got to remember, her Mangekyo Sharingan ability is different compared to Sasuke's. Sasuke's only using chakra when he casts Amaterasu and then dispelling it.
She's in there the whole time.
In her case, she has to keep feeding the jutsu chakra.
Right. That's why she loses chakra so fast.
Yeah, so for example, she killed like what 16, 17 Mamushi clones while she was flying, utilizing Otsutsuki level high speed flight. Right. She also had to keep the gravity reins around her and expand the gravitational orbs to actually get the Mamushis. And the data files tell us Sarada can control the strength of the gravitational force at will, as well as make the spheres detonate like bombs. Sarada can pick and choose what the gravitational force affects, but can only target things in her field of vision. However, if she targets a living being, then the gravitational forces also apply to Sarada. As a result, Sakura can maneuver the force spheres to bounce the gravitational pull applied to her, allowing her to levitate. If she moves with the spheres, she's able to fly at high speed just like the Otsutsuki. The cost of this ability is that it consumes an overwhelming amount of chakra, and like other Mangekyo Sharingan, the more the wielder uses it, the more their eyesight deteriorates, eventually leaving them blind. So, in retrospect, she's using her abilities more so than Sasuke did against Killer Bee because she has to keep the ability active consistently. And we see it here. She uses the Mangekyo Sharingan. She's floating. She grabs a handful of Mamushi clones. I think it was like 16 or 17. And she's also using it to fly. She's also using it to levitate them. She's expanding the orbs and then detonating them. And she tells us that, yeah, I can only affect objects that I'm able to see with my own eyes. So it basically works like Kaoki's ability and Ishiki's ability, where you have to see your target. And then she starts getting her fuzzy vision. So it's literally bar for bar with Sasuke. Her eyes bleed. And then she starts losing her vision, but she's not incapacitated. She's fine. She's still fine. She can still fight. It's just she's starting to notice that her eyesight is gradually declining. Same with Sasuke. So it's literally the same pattern as Sasuke. There's literally no difference. I feel like people are just forgetting that Sasuke was going blind even before the Hokage summit.
Yeah.
When they look at Itachi, we got to remember Itachi's not a main character.
I know. Yeah.
His progression is different.
Yeah.
We can argue he was rationing his Mangekyo Sharingan.
Right.
Sasuke, on the other hand, is one of the main characters. He needs to lose that eyesight relatively quick so he can get his Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan, so he can get his character development. Same thing with Sarada. Sarada needs that EMS, or just her Mangekyo right now. Even Koji says, yeah, that power is going to be vital. We see a vision of her using it, potentially against Hidari, so that might be her character arc to where she actually gets the EMS. So she's really operating at a standard Sasuke level in her like Mangekyo development. That's what's been confusing me of like people saying that she's been going blind and everything, when that's literally one-to-one Uchiha stuff. That's literally what the Uchiha go through.
Yeah, I think it's just because like we didn't get to see Sasuke, the second time he used his Mangekyo, him showing the effects of it going blind. So I think that's what everybody's like harp with it is. But me, I thought I was thinking more leaning to what you were saying, Ryzen. The reason why I have brought up Sasuke and Itachi is because I would say Sarada's ability is a lot stronger than theirs as far as like an EMS ability goes, as far as hacks goes. Only person that probably has something that is like a tier like matching that is probably Obito with Kamui, because Kamui is just so fucking OP. But he doesn't always have, as soon as he can shut it off really quick, all he had to do is put you in the Kamui dimension or make himself intangible for a couple seconds. Like, so he doesn't really have to hold on to his jutsu that long. Whereas Sarada, her jutsu is a jutsu that she has to pour chakra into the entire time. Like her just having her Mangekyo active, I don't believe she's pouring too much chakra in where it's like really affecting her. Like if she just turned her Mangekyo on rather than using the Orihime or whatever, or the orbs and stuff like that and flying. So yeah, I was more leaning towards
100%.
like it's like putting more of a strain on her eye than Sasuke's Mangekyo or Itachi's Mangekyo put on him.
100%.
And then she's already, so sorry to cut you off, just I wanted to add this in, and just the fact that she's already damn near blind anyways. No, seriously, like she wears glasses. I mean, I'm not saying she's like totally blind, but she's blind, like she has eye problems anyways. You know what I'm saying? So like it's going to deteriorate her eyesight most likely faster than the other two characters who had 20, if you will, 20/20 vision. I don't know. I'm not their eye doctor. I never checked. I don't think it's in the data books or anything like that as well. But so I'm assuming 20/20 vision.
And like, to be fair, like with Sasuke, he did have an initial Mangekyo Sharingan strain, but once he uses Amaterasu, it's there. He doesn't have to keep feeding it chakra unless he wants
Yeah.
to turn it off. In
Right.
Sarada's case, in addition to straining her eyes, she's constantly like you said, she's constantly feeding her jutsu chakra, and we're even told it consumes an overwhelming amount of chakra. So he's
Exactly.
feeding it
And,
a
and plus, it
crazy
has
amount.
multiple applications. So it's like
Yes.
they're not
Exactly.
just doing one thing. It's like she's
Exactly.
flying, she's controlling other people, she's targeting things, and she's controlling the
That's
orbs.
why
It's
I'm
dope.
wondering if this is her only jutsu. That's the only reason why I'm wondering if
Well,
this
it was only her right eye that showed like again. They keep on Ikimoto keep on emphasizing her right eye, and this is the
Yeah.
only one that's like bleeding,
bleeding.
and it showed like the reaction for the kanji whenever she's using the abilities. So
And
Okay.
whenever her left eye does, might be pivotal into what comes next with her development.
yes.
So
Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense.
And you know,
Oh, go ahead. No, sorry.
I was gonna say she's basically on that same character development with Sasuke. Like it's almost 1-to-1.
Yeah,
Where
I see it now that you put it like compared it like panel by panel. You know,
yeah,
it's
so like
crazy that you had all the panels is ready like that. Love it.
yes,
Shout out Horizon, man.
I knew
Like up
there
top
might be
Horizon.
I know there would be a few people that would question it, and you know it's literally nearly 1-to-1. There's almost no difference at all. Once you use the Mangekyo Sharingan, you're on a path to blindness.
My man's foresight is on Kage level, right? Osuski level foresight.
It's an Uchiha trait. Like Sarada is a main
With the
character.
foresight? Oh, sorry. Okay.
Oh no,
okay.
oh no. I was gonna say it's basically an Uchiha trait. Like you're gonna go blind. Sarada is the main character, just like Sasuke was. She's not gonna drag it out. Her sight's gonna deteriorate, just like Sasuke's, and then she'll come to a solution. Whether that will be getting Sasuke's eyes and getting the EMS, or some other thing that Ikamoto will write in, she will eventually get her character development even more and get new eyes or upgraded eyes.
Her father's eye, you mean? But
We gotta remember. We gotta remember. Sasuke's eye is Itachi's eye. Sasuke's
one
original
thing,
eyes are
though,
still out there.
one thing though, like I don't think like say Sasuke does return, you know, Hidari gets his soul thorn bowl put back in Sasuke. Sasuke eventually returns. I don't think she's gonna take Sasuke eye.
Oh, no.
I think you guys are on the right track. Maybe she'll take Hidari's eyes, possibly. Maybe that will work out.
Oh, forgive. I think you misunderstood me. Right now,
like
Sasuke's,
Sasuke's original eyes.
yeah, Sasuke's eye right now is Itachi's eyes. Because you got to remember, the Renegon and his EMS are Itachi's eyes. He transplanted Itachi's eyes into himself. Sasuke's original eyes are still out there somewhere.
She could use those bullshit eyes.
Yes, like they can still be brought in. Like we don't know what happened to them.
That definitely could be. That's
Sasuke
probably
could
like
have-
the biggest,
Even though
the
those
most
eyes lost the
open-ended
sight,
way.
like even though those eyes went completely blind, she can still.
You seen Itachi's vision at the end
Yeah.
of his fight?
Yeah,
But it wasn't totally out though. Like he
Bro,
still.
Itachi wasn't even looking at Sasuke. He was looking at a blob, bro.
But you gotta remember,
Yes.
you gotta remember, Sasuke's eyes didn't totally go blind. He still had slight vision. Same thing with Itachi. They were both nearly sealed, darkness wise. So when you transplant a Mangekyo Sharingan and you go to the EMS, you're getting new light. So if Sasuke's original eyes get transplanted to Sarada, they'll get new light. They'll become an EMS. Her chakra will fuse with Sasuke's chakra and basically create an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan. So that can still work because right now Sasuke's kind of carrying on. People, you said? I didn't hear you.
Would it work with Hidari too? Because he does have Sasuke's chakra.
Well, Hidari kind of alluded to the fact that he might get a Sharingan if he devours Sarada.
Mm-hmm.
So it could mean something opposite if she, yeah. So yeah, it's a way. I think it's very just interesting because there's still like not just more like to do about her ability. It's interesting that Ikimoto still has her in the fight moving forward to see how he's gonna end off this volume next chapter. But like even with like things like a Susanoo or just some type of protective chakra cloak that she can manifest due to having a Mangekyo, like something else that comes into the future even before she transplants those eyes, because I could be wrong, but I believe he's gonna reveal those things before he even goes into, her blindness. So I think her next usage with her Mangekyo might not even be Hirume. It might be something completely different that we never seen, something cool, or maybe it might just be some regular, typical cliche Susanoo bullshit, and then boom, we start to see her vision is like almost completely deteriorated, and they can move on from there.
I hope so. And we got to remember that Sarada's Mangekyo is different from most other Mangekyos. Just like Madara, just like Sasuke, she has straight Tomoe. She has straight
A
Tomoe.
straight choco. Yeah,
Yeah.
straight
So
choco.
so her Sharingan is just generally better than the other Uchihas that we've seen. Now whether she fights Hidari and beats Hidari and fully goes blind, or whether she fights Hidari with a new upgraded Sharingan, that remains to be seen. But one thing I really hope to see is I hope we see Sakura talking to her about it. Because now that she's actually starting to go blind, I feel like it would be a missed opportunity for Sakura not to see it and Sakura not to talk about it. Because if we go back a couple chapters ago, Sasuke's been pretty chill on Sarada having the Mangekyo. Sasuke's the first person to realize that, yeah, if Sarada uses his power, she's gonna go blind. But he didn't really seem worried about it. That's why I believe she'll get his original eyes. Either Sasuke had them and he gave them to Boruto, or Sasuke had them and he gave them to Sakura. So I hope we do get to see some talks about that, because if it feels like if Sarada didn't have a chance of getting the EMS, I feel like Sasuke would have been more worried. And that's my whole thing.
Yeah, that's true. I think the biggest like theory for that end is like it's possible that he probably had them and gave them to Sakura a long time ago for insurance, and she's
I
just
agree.
always against the idea because it still fits with Sakura's character. But I think maybe especially since they gave us that flashback early in TVV where literally Sasuke is just sitting down Boruto and talking about the Mangekyo Sharingan, like has nothing to do with Boruto, but he's like, yeah, let's talk about the Sharingan, my boy. I know you got no chance of awakening it, but like let's sit down and talk about it. So I'm like, is it that crazy to think they spent some time, maybe even if Sasuke didn't know, but he had an idea searching for Sasuke original eyes and he secured them and he gave them to Boruto for insurance, or possibly they secured them and now Boruto knows where they are, wherever they are. So I don't think that's too far fetched of an idea if they want to go with Sasuke's original eye route.
Don't you
Like
think
it's
Boruto would have
very easily
already
there.
offered it? Wait, do you think that Sasuke even told Boruto anything about Sasuke? I mean, Sarada's Mangekyo.
He did, because he did talk about the Mangekyo, so I feel like he would have
Can y'all
told
hear me?
Boruto. Yeah, I can hear you. Because I can hear you now. I don't know if you're talking right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you now. What was I saying? He did talk about the Mangekyo Sharingan to Boruto, so I'm guessing he would have said that, yeah, you will progressively go blind to like let him know. I feel like it could go either way, like Uchiha said. I kind of hope it's Sakura. I feel like it would fit better if it's Sakura who's giving her the eyes, who's giving her the surgery. But I feel like it could also be Boruto, just him having the eyes from Sasuke. I just wouldn't want it personally. Another thing, I feel there's been quite a few people that's been saying that, yeah, Sarada can just get her eyes healed with like using the hundreds healing, the Byakugo seal, and then using mitotic regeneration. I feel like
Mhm.
people are forgetting that healing jutsu don't heal Uchiha blindness. They don't heal Mangekyo Sharingan blindness, because if that did happen, Sasuke would have gotten healed once he bit Karin, or once he got healed by Jugo. We also got to remember how the mitotic regeneration works. It regenerates cells. It doesn't heal cells. It forces new cells to be regenerated. Eyes don't typically regenerate cells, and it doesn't seem like the eyes take cellular damage when they go blind. It seems to be a chakra thing. So it seems like the only real way you can bypass that blindness is if you have an EMS, or you get implanted with Hashirama cells.
Right.
So unless they're gonna go the Orochimaru, I'm gonna implant you with Hashirama cells or Shibai cells, which I don't think will happen, you typically will need an EMS unless Sumire makes some like ninja contact lenses, where these contact lenses will simulate the EMS and will
Nah,
prevent you from getting blind, which I really don't want.
you know that
I,
everybody's gonna hate that. Everybody's gonna hate that.
So I think the only real
Well,
thing you can
I think the way that they should go about Sarda is different than your average Uchiha. I don't think they should go the route of her getting Sasuke eyes or getting the Shin Uchiha eyes, like a lot of people were saying. I think they should go a different route. Like she finds another method, or another method finds her. Like she's a special type of Uchiha that doesn't affect her, or she awaken her Mangekyo Sharingan in a different way than others did. But that theory of mine that I had a long time ago is kind of like going into the shitter, because in this chapter she is going blind. So it's like, damn, I don't know if my
it could be a thing. It's just in my mind, I feel like it would go full circle for Sarada, because now she's carrying on her father's legacy. She's specifically carrying on his eyes now. She will always have a part of her father with her now, other than blood. And I feel like with Himawari, she's kind of that next gen Naruto. She inherited Kurama from him basically. She's the new gen Naruto.
Yeah, but at the same time, that's why I said I want them to go. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's one thing that I did want to add. Because the reason why I like really want them to go a different route with Sarda is because they went a different route with Himawari as far as her becoming a tail beast. So I think I really want them to go a different route with Sarda. So her being on the level, if they make her on the level of a Boruto or a Kawaki, it makes absolute sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many gods that's available right now, as far as like Shibai cells and like the Shinju that we have now. Like, there's something that could happen in this arc that's different than the traditional Uchiha way of getting the EMS. Maybe her ability, maybe her Mangekyo isn't even an EMS when she evolves it to the state where she's not blind no more. Maybe it's called something totally different, like how she has the Orihime on her Mangekyo Sharingan. No other Mangekyo user really had a sub name for their ability or for their Mangekyo. She's the first that I know of, at least in recorded Naruto history, that has that type of Mangekyo.
Yeah, I could definitely see it, and I would definitely keep it open to where she can find her own answer to the Mangekyo Sharingan problem. I just feel like it would be kind of cool if you merge Sasuke's like ocular power with hers. That's just me. That's just my thing. 'Cause I really like that trope where she's inheriting her father's like legacy, and I would really wonder like what would the pattern be, because unfortunately or like fortunately, Sarada's Mangekyo Sharingan pattern seems complete. Like love the sun design. I wonder what could they add if she gets the EMS. That's my thing. That's why I kind of agree,
Yeah.
because her Mangekyo her whole aesthetic seems complete. I don't know
It'll
what
turn colors. It'll turn yellow, and then be like, no, dead ass. Like, it'll turn yellow. It'll look like a sun. That's what I had this thumbnail that kind of looked like that. I'll find it real. Oh shit, I can't find it. I'll find it real quick and I'll show you. But yeah, continue.
that'd be cool. It's because we know that when Madara got his brother's eyes, their Tomoe patterns combined. Same thing with Sasuke. Itachi's Tomoe patterns got incorporated in his Mangekyo. So if we look at Sasuke's original run of the mill Mangekyo design, I wonder how that would mesh with her own pattern. Because he could either say, "Yeah, I'm not going to change the pattern," but that would break how the Sharingan works, or he incorporates a part of it. And I don't know if it would necessarily look that good. It just her eye just looks complete. So I really want to.
He can make a sun within a sun. He could do a star within a sun, something like that.
I need
Okay, I got it for you. Look, this is the thumbnail that I had. I'm gonna remove your screen real quick. I think it would be dope if they did something like this. Hold on, let me see.
For her Mangekyo design.
Yes. Hold on. No. I'm just gonna put this for real quick. This is not what I wanted to show you guys, but hold on real quick. Oh, it's right here. Okay. Should have missed that. This right here.
I can't. Did
Yeah,
you?
that's
Are you changing? Are you sharing your screen?
I am not sharing my screen. I'm so sorry. I was on another screen. Okay,
That's
there.
fine. So just some golden eyes.
Yeah, you ain't got to change the sun or nothing. The sun is a bright yellow. Well, I guess it's not yellow. It's kind of like red, I guess. Yeah. But for my eyesight, the shits look yellow.
Nah, that's yellow. I mean, but like, shit, you could change the color. Motherfuckers would be mad though. But
I don't think they would. Like, I don't think they would. Like, was people mad when Himawari inherited Kurama? I don't know. I was excited. I
yeah,
can't speak for
I
was
mean, yeah,
excited,
we
but
were
people were mad.
excited, but yeah, people
People
were
were
mad.
mad.
then they don't like change. They want everything to be the same. Like, we're in a new generation.
Let's
Yeah,
be
bro, they
honest.
trying to stay on
But
old
I
era.
understand though. I
If
understand. I don't like the new Avengers, so it's okay. I get it.
let's
That's
be honest.
crazy.
If a lot of the
I
older
mean,
fans had
that's
their way,
basically like Kawaki's eye if it would have like glowed up.
here's
That's
here's
basically what it would look like.
here's Sasuke's OG Mangekyo design.
And his eye, isn't his eye yellow too?
Whose? Kaoki's? Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
At least the pupil and like the marks. Yeah, it's yellow.
Yeah, what you saying? Sasuke's?
Oh yeah, this is Sasuke's.
Yeah, I
OG.
said, isn't his eye yellow?
Yeah.
Oh, you
Kaoki's
didn't
eye-
hear?
Yeah, it's yellow.
Nah. Wait, who
Oh,
is somebody
so-
speaking?
Yeah,
Okay.
Ryzen was speaking. He said, "Yeah, Kawaki's is yellow." Can
Oh
you
shit,
hear Ryzen?
I can't hear Ryzen. Hold on.
One second, guys. My bad. Black's having audio issues. Give us 1 second. But yeah, dudes, if you're waiting, if you want to leave a super chat, like the podcast, and also I don't know what's next. Oh yeah, hype the video and stuff like that too, so it can get to other people. Yeah, super chats always support the podcast. If you want to become a member, the YouTube live streams I usually do on Twitch. I did this as a treat because we ain't really pod in about a month. I'm sorry, I'm tripping. So I just wanted to make sure that make sure that y'all get the podcast and stuff like that. So if you want to join the membership, if we do future podcasts on YouTube, I'm gonna make it members only, and then if y'all want to watch it live, y'all can just join us on Twitch as well. But yeah, that's all.
Hold on. Say something, Ryzen.
Black is back
Can
on.
you hear me now?
Night Rising.
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
All right, let's continue. My bad. Just wanted to get that quick begging out of the way.
So I was just gonna say that this is Sasuke's original Mangekyo design. It's kind of the opposite of Sarada's, just like pattern wise. So I wonder if we did get an EMS and we did get Sasuke's original eyes, how would that pattern look? Because I feel like her original Mangekyo is just complete. So I wonder what could Ikamoto add to her hypothetical EMS pattern when I feel like any more it might be over designed. What do you guys think?
Possibly, yeah. Or they can under design it.
I'm telling you, they should go with the design that I can give that to them and sell it to them. Go with it. I think we should go with that design. Like,
They could also
her shit is just so OP. That shit just start glowing.
Of course, they could also
more chakra around her, right?
Of course, they could also just keep it the same. I just hope they explain why it's the same if they do give her an EMS.
And then look. You say she's like inheriting her father's like will or whatever. I don't know how you like really said it verbatim. She really wants to be like Naruto. If she can get a glowing EMS that's yellow, and then her Susanoo is yellow as well.
Ooh, a yellow Susanoo. You know, people have been saying red, but a yellow might be low.
I actually never thought about a yellow Susanoo yet.
I actually might
just like Naruto. What's Naruto's cloak color?
Ooh, that actually might work. I think about it. You're definitely onto something. A yellow Susanoo would kind of go clean, especially with like that little sun motif. So like, she's not that shadow. She wants to be the light. She wants to be the light that illuminates the village. Yeah, I can definitely.
Not the yellow. I don't know about the yellow eyes, but yeah, the yellow Susanoo.
The yellow Susanoo would
I'm
definitely
just talking about when she activate the EMS or whatever broken ass ability the EMS has, that should just start glowing yellow.
Oh no, I definitely see that. That's definitely a potential color.
Yeah,
What if she could just bring down the sun? Like the sun just
what?
start coming.
She
Niggas
killing
start getting
everybody.
niggas start getting
Something,
mad hot. They be sweating and shit. They like, what
Everybody
the
on the
fuck?
planet is done. They cooked. They better not ever piss her off.
something I kind of hope is I hope she gets, if she does get like, well, we know she'll have the Susanoo. I kind of wish she could get like a miniature avatar, like a cloak.
I do
Because
too.
it feels like we've moved past giant avatars. We've seen the like that shit worked for Momoshiki, but the last time we had giant avatars, we saw what Jigen did to Naruto and Sasuke.
Yeah.
In Himawari's case, eventually, best case scenario, she will get a cloak, and she can just use that in her human form, like Naruto did.
Yeah.
But limiting Sarada to Susanoo like Sasuke, it feels kind of weird. I feel like it would be cool if she just has a miniature Susanoo where she can amp her physical stats but stay small and fast, basically.
Yeah, like she can compress a Susanoo.
Yes.
So like, like when you compress something, it makes it a little bit more stronger and denser and stuff like that. So like she can have a Susanoo that's like 10 times
Susanoo
stronger.
armor.
Yeah, like a Susanoo armor. But it can be, maybe she could gigantify it if she want. Like she has that control to do. Like if she has control over her Susanoo to where she can mold it in any way that she want, that shit would be out of control.
All right, since we gassing her up, what if she could do that and then in that Susanoo form, she could bring down the sun on these niggas and compress it, right? So it's not like the whole world getting burnt to a crisp. It's like whoever she want to really burn to a crisp. It's like,
oh man, really want her to bring the sun down on her.
It'll be funny as hell. If she can't compress that Susanoo, all the Sasuke and Madara fanboys are gonna get pissed because they're gonna say, "Oh, so Sarada has the chakra control to do that, but Sasuke and Madara couldn't do that."
Hey,
Superman is definitely pulling her out of the multiverse if she can do some shit like that. That's crazy, bro. Hey,
speaking of Superman,
shout out
verbatim.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Real quick, Big Hump Dog 904. That's a crazy name. He gifted 5 Cloud Ninja podcast memberships. Appreciate that, big dog. Appreciate that.
Yeah, appreciate that, big dog.
Hey.
Oh no, I was gonna say not that you mentioned Superman. It reminded me, bro. Y'all peep Delta's movements this chapter. Shorty,
bro, I was about to. I'm glad
it was giving Supergirl vibes. Heavy Supergirl vibes.
Read my mind. I was just about to say, like, all right, let's end the Glaze and the Sarda, and let's get to my girl Ada, because one reason why I gave this chapter, I really love this chapter, is because
Ada. You mean Delta or Ada?
Oh, Delta. So sorry.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Yeah, when Delta first got introduced, when Shikamaru was like Bronco, and we thought she was about to go crazy, she did nothing, and we haven't seen her do nothing but be besides Kawaki every chapter since 2 Blue Vortex started. Now we finally got to see her cut loose, and she's like demolishing Mamushi clones, bro.
It's like butter, bro.
Demolishing the Mamushi clones.
I'm also really interested to see like Delta's relationship with the Hidden Leaf Ninja, because we know she hates Kawaki, but from the little like talk we had with her and Sarada, they seem relatively friendly.
Yeah, she rock with Sarada. Sarada's a people's person, bro. People rock with her, bro. Like she's a cool ass motherfucker. Like how you can not rock with
I understand hating Kawaki. He has a hateable face. He's just hateable. Okay, I'm sorry, Shade, but like I get why she would hate Kawaki, but it's interesting to see this Delta kind of be friendly with people when we know the original Delta from Kara wasn't really a friendly type of person.
Yeah, that's not the same Delta though.
Yes.
It's not. It goes to show, because remember when Amato said every time he made a new Delta, she always came back with a different personality slightly the same, but it was always different. So it's like, this is kind of a result of that too.
Yes, it just goes back to like the whole aspect that clones are their own.
Isn't she programmed to protect the Hidden Leaf too? At that?
Yeah, she's programmed to. This one is programmed to protect the Hidden. Like, look at that shot right there. Like she's she's really relishing this moment in battle. That's why I enjoy so much about this sequence, because she's like, oh my god, she's like, Sarada, you're taking all of the enemies. Oh no. And then she looks back, she's like, oh, there goes a group. Say less. You know what I'm saying? She excited. She like, finally, bro. And she out here really going crazy. And that just fits her brutality fighting style. Like when she stomps down on their eyes like that, and then she turns
Hmm.
around like, "Oh no!" And we see the change. It's like, "Sarada, are you okay?" Like previous
Yeah.
Dota wouldn't have done that.
And, I might be jumping the gun a bit, but I really want to see this Delta's interactions with a hypothetical Akabi, depending on what Akabi comes back as.
I mean, she got her memory, so she
Yes.
might she might just be like, "It's weird, but hey, I'm not you, gang."
Yeah, and it just goes back to like the whole thing. Like Mitsuki's not Orochimaru,
Yeah,
Koji's not Jiraiya. They're all separate people, and it just disproves. It just goes back to Gaiden when we had the little Shin arc. Just because you share a person's genetics doesn't mean you're that person. We saw
yeah.
the same thing with the Shin clones. They're not like Shin. They're all slightly different. They all have the capacity to be different people. We saw that with Mitsuki as like a prime example, and
That's
Law
why
too.
That's why I was so happy when I saw that chapter when Amado was talking to Kawaki about like, oh, placing the karma on his daughter. He had a whole separate clone prepared for it. I was like, bro, they better not take Delta out the story for this damn Akebi ghost ass bitch. We ain't trying. I'm like, bro, but I'm happy it's a separate clone, and I hope nothing happens to Delta.
I feel like he had to do that because Delta's not gonna take that lying down. Like he can shut her down, but
He can, but I'm pretty sure Ikimoto knows, like, yeah, she's a
yeah,
beloved character,
yeah,
bro. Everybody
exactly.
rocks with Delta, bro. You feel me? Shout out to my wife, Delta, bro.
But after like the Delta
I
stuff, we
still,
go
I
back
still love
to
Ada, but we can continue.
You said what?
I still love Ada, but we can continue.
Nah, Ada's definitely like, you know what I'm saying? Delta is more like a familial type of thing. Ada is definitely like one of my favorite characters though. Delta's that's like honey boo boo though. That's
I'm
that's what
taking
it
Ada on a date. I ain't gonna lie.
is.
I mean, I can vouch for Delta being here for a while. I don't know about Ada. Ada's still the book's
No,
still on that
I've
one.
been saying
Man,
for the longest, Ada's gonna take a L.
man, Ada's such a mid. She can't take a L, bro.
I mean,
Yeah, she's just
we're,
such an like characterization wise. I just love her character. So
we're just unfortunately back to the corner because like after we get through with the Delta stuff, we go back to Inojin and we have Koji still trying to convince Inojin to dispel the jutsu when Koji just finally does it himself and just dispels the jutsu. Inojin's back in his own body. Kobu's awake and he's about to get clapped. Basically.
yeah,
uh Boruto shows up, absorbs the fire style jutsu with the karma, which clean as always.
quick
And
little moment. Yeah,
something I wanted to talk to you guys about because it feels like I'm looking way into it and I might be just over analyzing it. But it seemed like Kobu was baiting that whole situation because
What do you mean? Why?
because
Oh, sorry. You can explain. Sorry.
think about it this way. If he really wanted Kobu dead, why talk to Inojin? Why drag it out if he could always undo the jutsu and let Kobu just die?
That's true.
Again, also, he knew Boruto was coming to the Hokage Tower to save Kobu. Boruto tells him, was this pure coincidence, or did you know that I'd save Kobu? Now, listen to what Koji says. You might not consider this an answer, but in my personal opinion, that man needs to die. Not that I wanted him to die, not that I was planning for him to die, because think about it this way. Like I said, if he wanted Kobu to die, he could just undo the jutsu.
Mm-hmm.
Boruto wouldn't have made it in time. Kobu would be dead.
Because he knew how to he knew how to get him out of the jutsu.
Yes.
He did it. Yeah.
Point B. If he knew Boruto was gonna save Kobu, and he still really wanted Kobu to die, the better plan would be to keep Inojin inside Kobu's body so he doesn't even see Boruto interacting with Shikamaru. But he specifically undid the jutsu seconds before Boruto showed up to where Kobu sees Boruto, the traitor, the Hokage killer, saving his life, interacting with the Hokage, knowing that there is something going on, and him kind of basically telling Boruto unintentionally, for better or worse, I'm gonna let him live. You deal with the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kobu's letting Shikamaru do everything right now.
Yeah.
But he tells him, my investigation into you isn't over, Nara Shikamaru. You better not think you can sweep this under the rug. After it all comes to light, we of the Land of Fire shall take whatever action is necessary. You best remember that. That actions that are necessary. This could go two ways. It could either backfire on Boruto and completely ruins Shikamaru and say, yeah, Shikamaru is colluding with Boruto. Kobu saw it with his own eyes. He saw Boruto. Or Kobu could take the more analytical route because he is an analytical person and say, why is that traitor helping me?
Yeah.
Why did he save my life? I'm
That's
the guy.
that.
I'm the guy who wants to kill him the most, other than the daimyo. So why did he save me?
And
Why is he
then
working with Shikamaru?
you have like because he wanted sorry, he wanted useless man, what's his name? Konohamaru to actually speak. And when Konohamaru said Boruto saved his life, and then you have Kobu who also corroborates and says Boruto saved his life as well, then that can mean that, he was telling the truth. They have to believe what he was saying. But at the same time though, it also gives Shikamaru the go ahead to do what he has to do in order to stop the Shinju without any interference from the Daimon and Kobu, etc.
That's the thing about it though, because like prior to this chapter, like when I first read this chapter, I was like, okay, so that's what Ikimoto's gonna do. Because y'all know I was saying like Kobu needs to die. I think the stakes are better that way, and it can allow the story to flow much better. But if they do save him, I wasn't really thinking like it should be the Boruto route. Yet they did it in this way, and it's solely because of Koji's
And so,
contingency.
for real, I thought it was so obvious that's how they was going to do it.
Yeah,
I mean, as far as like the setup is as much as like I'm saying like what I
Mm.
would prefer. So like when I
Oh,
first read
sorry.
the chapter, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So obviously he's not gonna die, and okay, now Boruto's gonna be the one to save him. But the great twist that comes in, because like Ikimoto does the thing where he goes the cliche route, but he always adds a little twist into it or a twist at the
Mhm.
end that makes it different. So now it's like, well, damn, Koji basically could have had this as his plan A or B, and he already had another preferable plan where Kobu did die. So seeing it as to like where the events played out to where Koji was like, okay, I'm satisfied with either outcome. I would prefer the future where Kobu dies, but I'm gonna still set it up to where Boruto can save him, and that can allow at least for some time because of Kobu's immediate reaction to everything going down. Like he just had his life saved by the guy, so he ain't got no time to be like, "Yo, apprehend him." No, he's trying to get up
Yeah,
out of here into the infirmary. So at
yeah,
the very least, that allows a little bit time for some wiggle room. So that's maybe like a timeline where Koji can still operate. He has enough room to get his hands dirty, but he would prefer where if Kobu died, things would have been like much easier, you
I
know?
yeah.
agree
Because he
with
also says that he was like that man must die. Like he still said that even after Boruto
Yeah.
said,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's his response that gives the dead away. So it was
yeah,
like, okay, basically this was his plan B for Boruto to come
yes,
in and save him.
100%. And
Yeah.
I agree with you, Uchiha, because back then I thought it was going to be a situation where Boruto saves Kobu, and him and Koji get into a big fight about it.
"Yeah, me
Yeah.
too,
That didn't
me
happen.
too."
It seems like, and I might be looking, like, I admit, I might be looking way too into it, but it seems like Koji decided to give Boruto the benefit of the doubt and decided to, like, maneuver everything to see where Boruto's opinion leads to, where
Yeah.
he's going to give him the chance. It might backfire. Kobu might say, screw it, I still want Boruto dead. I'm going to imprison Shikamaru now for seemingly helping a traitor. It could
Yeah.
also end up benefiting it in the long run because he's seen Boruto mess with the future and save Konohamaru. It's not something he wanted, but it seemed to have worked in the short term. We also have the fact that if you go back a couple chapters, he tells Inojin, I have to make the decisions I think are right because prescience isn't a constant thing. He gets an updated timeline. All he can really do is tell Shikamaru and tell Boruto what's going on and hope they make the right decision, himself included. So it seems like he chose to disregard what he thought was best and try to trust in Boruto and let him save Kobu because it feels like he could have just killed Kobu, but he gave Boruto that chance.
I
Yeah.
think, I think differently though. I think when he had that rewrite, he saw everything. He knew he had to do that because, like you said, he could have, if he wanted him dead that bad, then he could have released the mind transfer at anytime he wanted. Like as soon as he got on that building, he could have just released the mind transfer and like Kobu would have stood no chance. But he waited. So I think he had all that planned out. Like I don't think he's gonna go against what he sees in his prescience ability if he sees like this certain timeline that he's currently on, the right timeline, I don't think he's going to want to divert that and um cause another rewrite of like the future. So he has to like alter his plans all over again because
I think one of the main reasons though, he probably, because like you said, if he really wanted him dead, he would have probably undid the jutsu earlier. But I think it plays into the idea where he still wanted that 50-50 chance to where Boruto could save him, but also he couldn't, as opposed to where Boruto had absolutely no chance of saving him and then messing up the whole timeline completely.
Yeah,
yeah.
I can definitely see that. Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah,
So
so that's like Doctor Strange giving Thanos the Infinity Stone because it was the only way. Like you know.
yeah. Yep.
100%.
The second line is so funny.
Is it because I had thought about a meme I saw that was like with Doctor Strange and Thanos? That's why I was like, because it's like
Which
if in
one?
Infinity War, bro, if you peep real quick, in Infinity War, when Thanos had pulled up to the planet, Doctor Strange was sitting down tossing a rock.
Yeah,
And then we know at that point he already saw the future. And then in Endgame, we see like 2014 Thanos sitting down tossing a rock waiting for the Avengers to pull up. So I'm like, that was funny. Somebody posted a meme about that. I was like, oh shit.
yeah. It was a playback.
Yep.
It was
It was
a
like
or a
it was like that
Easter.
was Strange's way of saying like, hey, you're gonna lose. So you
Yeah.
know.
And then
That's
if we go back to chapter 28, we have him explaining prescience to Inojin, and Koji tells him, I never know if my choice was correct or not until I see the outcome. I relayed what I thought was vital. I can only entrust Shikamaru and Boruto to decide how to battle the enemy before us. Because we gotta remember, just him telling them what's gonna happen changes the future because they're specifically doing different things to try to get a new update, to try to get a better future. So he's seen Ada and Himawari die. So he's trying to avoid that future and making subtle changes to get a better future. So in his mind, he wanted Kobu to die, but it seems like he mellowed off on it because if he really wanted, like you guys said, yeah, like if he really wanted Kobu to die, Kobu would be dead. It just feels like he could have. So it feels like he's trying to make a different choice and see where this leads to. And I really hope we get more background information. I hope to an extent we get another prescience update. So this could, because I'm really interested to see, because this could either backfire on Boruto heavily or help him. It all depends on Kobu and how Kobu takes this.
How he reports it, honestly. Not
Yes,
even just
that
how he
too.
takes it, it's how he reports it.
And then it also goes back to just do I have that chapter actually? Hang on. Da-da-da. It is chapter 13, I think. It also goes back to what Daemon said. It could also backfire on Kawaki. It might be a situation where, okay, I'm Kobu. I'm gonna go talk to the elders. I'm gonna go bounce off some ideas. Okay, what did Boruto tell us? He told us the Hokage is
Naruto was
alive.
alive. Yeah.
From the report, if Shikadai reported it, that the juror was looking for Naruto Uzumaki also. So you have two people saying that Naruto's alive. We don't believe Boruto, but this dude juror is saying Boruto. He's looking for Boruto. Another thing, we have testimony that Boruto saved Konohamaru, and it was at the sand. We also have testimony that Kobu was saved by Boruto. Something might be going on. Let's
Yeah.
look into this.
Mhm.
And it just goes back also to what it might be 14. To what Daemon told Kawaki way back when. If people start looking into it, you're gonna get screwed because omnipotence does not protect you from framing Boruto. Omnipotence did not frame Boruto. You did. It was Kawaki who framed Boruto. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And let's see, where is it? Here it is, I think. No, that's not it yet.
It's after he gets interrogated and they're like,
Might be. Hang on, let me go back. Oh, here it is. I mean, there probably isn't anyone loony enough to believe that your positions are flipped, but you did outright lie about Boruto killing the Hokage. I wonder how everyone will react once they find out. That's basically it. Yeah. If Boruto decides to let all the cats out of the bag, like, they won't believe omnipotence, but they can definitely believe that Naruto's alive and that Kawaki lied if they have proof.
That's the
If they
thing. That's the thing. Like the closer and hotter it gets in terms of like Boruto's camaraderie in the hierarchy of like the village is starting off with like comrades like Sarada, Mitsuki and them, and then moving up to officials like Shikamaru, and now he's saving the Chancellor of the Land of Fire and like Lord Kobu and stuff. Things like that is like it's gonna allow people to start looking not necessarily into the whole idea, okay, you're actually Naruto's son. Like, scrap all of that. It don't matter if you are or not.
you
Is
just
Naruto
train.
alive or isn't he? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So just having that being brought to the pot literally cools down the entire story.
exactly. And it doesn't matter if omnipotence is still in effect. If Naruto's alive, all his crimes are done. Like there's nothing they can charge him for, unless they say, "Oh yeah, you tried to attack Kawaki." But that the big most glaring issue is Naruto and Hinata's death. Once that's gone, it doesn't matter. They
Yeah.
know Kawaki's the criminal. They just believe the Hokage's son snapped. Dude was a cheater day one. He's a cheater now. He's a brat.
Yeah. That's why I was saying, people, I was like, bro, either way, if Boruto fixed the world or he don't, he fucked either way because Kawaki done sullied his name in the fake world and the real one. It's like, after we done forgave you for crying wolf the third time, you literally sit here and pull this 3 year stint again. Everybody gonna think Boruto did that. They're like,
and,
damn, bro.
and I feel like there's a good chance Kobu might recognize it because he seems like we might not like Kobu, but at the end of the day, he's doing his job. There's a reason why he's the right hand man of the daimyo, and he's a really like for a civilian, he's really analytical. He specifically picked apart Konohamaru, specifically figured almost everything out. So he seems like the type of guy who likes results. Boruto saved him. He didn't have to save him. He's gonna have to think about that. If he brushes it off, it kind of negates his intelligence that we've seen so far.
Yeah. I think the fact that he did that, it just allowed time to set off this side plot for the meantime while the climax of the battle kicks in. Because moving right past that, now we finally got Shikamaru kicking the final plan into gear, and basically everybody's going to start heading towards Ada, and they trying to get all 200 Mamushi towards Ada. And now this
Yes,
nigga Daemon is ready to get active, and it's time to get gritty, you know? So,
yes, and I feel like we've moved past Shikamaru being Hokage. Unfortunately, I think he will get removed, regardless. But we might get a chance of seeing Kakashi. You know,
Mm.
the only person who's really qualified to be Hokage right now is either Sai or Kakashi. No one else fits the bill.
Okay.
No one else really fits the bill unless they want to give Kawaki that position. And I really don't want to see Kawaki as Hokage.
Unless they want to give it to the bro Kage.
Because you can't give it to Sakura, wife of a traitor. You're not gonna give it to Konohamaru. Konohamaru kind of outed himself with Kobu. The only person you could give it to is either Sai or Kakashi. Because Kakashi, even though he has that blemish of pardoning Sasuke, he's the only viable person. Tsunade's in her 70s. She's not gonna come back. Especially with her thinking Naruto's dead. So I really want to see what the political ramifications will be in the next couple of chapters.
it's going to be big for sure.
And then, there's the whole like Mamushi stuff. I don't know if you guys saw it on Twitter, but there are people complaining about why Mamushi's being taken down so easily. Well, we gotta remember, intelligence plays a big factor. If you're getting dumped to the point where you can't use your abilities, you can't use your power, you can't amp yourself with your chakra, even though you're really strong, you're gonna get beaten.
Mhm.
And that was literally Koji's plan. Make them dumb enough to where they can be handled. Just don't let them split apart, or you're gonna get overwhelmed. Which just goes to what Shikadai said. Team 10 here, we're currently fighting some of those rogues, but there's no end to them. Our chakra is draining quick. So even though he's getting dumber and nerfed, he's gonna keep coming. He's gonna keep coming until you're just out of chakra. And it doesn't necessarily nerf Mamushi's powers. It just makes him. Once he gets to a certain point where he's just a dumbass, he's not going to utilize his power set accurately. And a comparison I had was, you guys remember when Genyu swapped bodies with Goku, right?
Yeah.
Goku's body is strong. Genyu did not know how to use it, which in turn made Goku's body seem weaker. In reality, Goku's body was strong. It's just he didn't know how to use it. Mamushi's in that same boat. He's gotten so dumb that he's not able to think clearly. He's not able to form strategies. He's not even able to amp himself with chakra. Because if you remember, when it was just the one Mamushi with all his intelligence, he was able to push Boruto back. He was able to tank one of Boruto's lightning style jutsus.
Yeah.
So I feel like people are seeing
But then they say that he's supposed to be the same strength no matter
yes.
how many times he.
But what I'm saying though is intelligence plays a
As
role.
far as utilization,
Yeah.
how he uses the strength, that's the thing though. Even I agree with that, and that's the main point I'm bringing up. But also, just the way things are playing out too. I do believe like I can't say regardless of statements because statements are everything, especially depending on who's saying them within the story. But as far as like power scaling, I'm not a power scaler goes,
Me
but like
neither.
it
100%.
I think Ikimoto is trying to really tell us, regardless of how we want to level it, like these things are strong, yes, but they're manageable.
Yes.
Jura is not manageable. That's just the only difference, right? And I was really thinking, especially reading chapter 31, I'm thinking, I never sat down and asked myself, okay, can Naruto and Sasuke whoop one of these? I'm like, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Naruto and Sasuke could whoop a Shinju. Naruto and Sasuke could whoop a lot of these characters. It's really because we have to take into account. I'm not saying hacks is everything, but the one thing that really stopped Naruto and Sasuke, especially from whooping Jigen, was the fact that he could shrink their physical ninjutsu attack. So like they had to figure out a way around that. And with
Yeah. Not to
Ishiki,
mention, not to mention, sorry to cut you off, but not to mention that he physically Jigen was just strong. Like his punches had weight, like a
yeah,
lot of weight.
yeah, and then with Ishiki, an even stronger opponent, it's like, damn, we gotta have the same strategy, but figure that out against someone who's even like physically stronger. So I'm thinking, okay, taking away the account that they have like half of their ninjutsu arsenal wiped out by the fact that he could shrink it with now a glance rather than just using his karma. It's like it's tricky to get your way around that, but it still takes into account that, like, especially for someone like Jigen, he made it account to like shrink these tail beast bombs or shrink these big attacks that Naruto and Sasuke threw at him, because it's not like he's gonna sit here and tank them. So even with certain characters, I'm like, maybe I'm not even gonna say maybe for like the Sage Mode and current One Eye Sasuke, yes, but definitely like peak Naruto and Sasuke.
We also got to
They
remember.
beating the brakes off of Mamushi, bro.
We
They
also got to
beating the
remember
brakes
though.
off of Matsuri. I ain't gonna lie. From what we've seen from Hidari, I think Naruto and Sasuke could beat the brakes off of Hidari too.
Uchiha,
So
we
this
also got to
is
remember though, just by off chain scaling, yes, they can beat the Mamushi clones. But the thing is, a full power Mamushi is going to give them more than a little trouble because we know Boruto, just in base, is a lot stronger than peak Naruto and Sasuke. Same
oh
thing
yeah,
with Naruto.
absolutely. He's stronger than
It
them.
just goes with like tactics. They could outsmart them. Them together are a solid team. So I give
Yeah,
you that 100%. It's just
yeah.
with the Mamushi, people are making it out to seem like he's a lot weaker than he really is, when it's literally it's what his ability does. Physically, he's still as strong as ever. All his clones are equally as strong. It's just having the mentality of using it. That's the problem. We see Mamushi right here, relatively being a harder battle for Boruto than these clones because he's just a dumbass right now. And we know for a fact that Himawari did die, unfortunately, in the future, and Ada died. So it feels like things are going too well right now.
All
And I
that,
hope
all that plus on top of that, it's like aside from like whenever mishap we want to say with like a Team 10 plus a Himawari right now, it's like the only ones we've seen kill the Mamushi clones is the characters we know who are capable. So that plays a part into like from what we have seen. It's like one of the times I mentioned, it's like kind of like the Jogo curse. Like he's cursed with fighting the strongest at every point in the series. So it's like we have not seen them come across any type of Jonin, and for a particular reason, because that's slaughter season, buddy. Like that's it. So we're
not to
gonna
be fair.
only show them fighting characters that can absolutely win or struggle against them.
Not to be
So
fair, I feel like the Chocho situation is what got people really riled up. But they're forgetting that if you can't use your power, it doesn't matter how strong you are, you're still gonna get destroyed. That's
Yeah.
what's going on right now.
I agree. No, I'm gonna be 100%. I agree absolutely with both sides because I'm like, that's not even that's crazy. She literally punched this nigga head off, bro. Like regardless of what side you're on, like that's crazy. But I also understand. I'm like, at the same time, Ikimoto did say at the start of the arc, hey, the more he multiplies is like dealing with the wild
Yes,
animal. And they
he told us.
estimated at like 30. And right now it's over two. Like the math is there if you want to get technical. Like it's at 200 plus Mamushi. So think about how much this guy's actually thinking about his chakra usage, you know. But at the same time, like she punched this nigga head off. And yet, so I'm like, yeah, we got it. Yeah, come on.
And it just goes back to like chakra usage, mentality, IQ, and
Yeah,
this is the best analogy I can use right now. When Goku and Ginyu swapped bodies, we knew Goku's power level was leaps and bounds above Gohan's and Krillin's. That
yeah,
power level is still in Goku's body. The problem is Ginyu is not Goku smart. He's not going to be able to tap into that power and use it efficiently to beat them. That's why Krillin and Gohan were able to keep up with Ginyu Goku, even though Goku's strong. If someone was seeing this, they would say, wait, Goku's not that strong. What was all that training? Like Gohan and Krillin are beating him, Kid Gohan.
yeah.
So it goes to show that, it does matter who's using that power. Right now, Mamushi can barely think. He can barely function as a sentient person. And the same thing happened with in Dragon Ball Super.
And he also has a nerf where like his instincts are to not piss off Jura, and
Yes.
destroying the village means pissing off Jura. So regardless of how much he may have minimal damage here and there, but he's purposely not trying to destroy the village. No matter how dumb he gets, he's not trying to destroy the village.
Yes. And the same thing happened in Goku in the Goku Black arc. Zamasu took Goku's body. Zamasu was a lot weaker in Goku's body than Goku was, even though Goku had that power. When he initially fought Goku, Goku was not wasn't challenged at all. Goku was holding back. It was only until Zamasu learned how to fight like Goku by fighting Goku that he was able to tap into that body's full potential. Right now,
Yeah.
Mamushi's not tapping into his full potential, even though he's supposed to be really strong. I feel like that's the problem. That's what people are not fully understanding. And one of my theories is, I feel like Daemon will make that mistake. I feel like he'll have so much fun destroying those Mamushi clones that Mamushi might gradually get his intelligence back, and he might gradually start planning things out. That's
Maybe.
my
I
theory.
think it's gonna be a that's the only thing I say. Like, however, if he does come on top of Damon Pauls and figures out a way to win that battle, it's like it's gonna be a technical way to where, like, damn, that
Yes.
makes sense because of two things. One, Damon is arrogant and he's battle hungry, and two, he's still a child, regardless of whatever you want to say. Like, he's still like his mindset is still like, oh my goodness, act first, think about it later. And he has the power to back up that mindset thus far and hasn't been challenged. So there's
Have
also that
they
taken
ever
into
stated
account.
how old Damon is?
Well, he's younger. He's younger than Ada. So Ada is confirmed she was 16 in part 1, regardless
Well,
of like them not.
it's also confirmed he's younger than Himawari
Yeah.
because when Boruto had mistaken Damon, like sensing Himawari's power as him like hitting on
Yeah.
her, and he was like, bro, you're too young for her. So at that point, Himawari was 10. So like Damon must have been like 8 or something. I
So
don't know.
he's still a kid. Like at
Yeah.
best, he's like 12. At best.
Yeah, at best he's like 12,
Or
13.
13.
Like
I wouldn't even push 13. I'd say like
yeah, I
12.
wouldn't say, yeah, he's probably like 11, 12 right now. So,
But yeah,
which is crazy, but hey, yeah, but hey, you know what I'm
but
saying?
so far we've seen most of Kashin Koji's thoughts about Mamushi come to fruition,
Yeah.
except for him getting his intelligence back.
But
Because
also I wanna talk about this also, this plot armor that the Shinju also have. It's like they have to fight them, particularly, yes, these other ninjas, but particularly for Boruto, who himself stated, like, I ain't gonna lie, these Shinju, they're manageable, but is Jura the one, when he's talking to Kawaki on the Hokage phase, he's like, Jura's the one I really need your help with. But the reason why Boruto can't just go out there and slaughter these Shinju is because he knows without certain conditions met, if he just goes out there and tries, Jura is going to pop up on the battlefield. So they already have that nerf. So now it's like, we got to wait for the perfect opportunities where
yes.
Jura won't show up. So
And
that's
also,
also a thing that's holding Boruto back. So I think these Shinjus would have been more manageable had that not been a case in these scenarios.
we also got to remember though, we're forgetting one thing. In base, Boruto was about relative to the divine trees. He couldn't really defeat Hidari without help. And
Yeah.
with Uzuhiko. And once Hidari saw Uzuhiko, he was never gonna fall for that again. So base Boruto, while like really strong and like stronger than Naruto and Sasuke, he was kind of on even ground with all the divine trees.
Man, even that regular Rasengan blew off 80% of his shoulder, bro. Karma amp little giant Rasengan to get the deed done
Now,
too
now, now,
on
now
these guys.
Karma Boruto is a different story. Karma
Yeah.
Boruto is just cracked. Same thing with Karma Kawaki. But in base, we gotta remember, like up until now, he's only been able to operate in base, and he says like his base self would have had a hard time with
With
Matsuri.
Matsuri.
She would have been manageable. He would have eventually done it, but it would have been a hard battle. And by the time he even gets to kill her, Jorah's probably gonna show up.
That's true. I think
So
that's true, but it's also a little modest coming from like he spent a chapter and a half fighting Jorah. Like that's also the thing we have to take account. Like he's really fighting Jorah with the Earth scale, and look at the way he's managing. Like imagine him with that urgency against any other Shinju in a 1v1. Like
the thing is, though, we gotta remember he tried to do that with Hidari because he wanted Sasuke back. He even snapped when he saw Hidari and tried to do a Rasengan class against Chidori, and then he got reprimanded by Koji by trying to do that reckless stunt because he told him
yeah,
retreat. So we see Boruto lose his cool when he sees Hidari. We see this, and then he just snaps, and that's actually kind of I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the last time we see Boruto wearing the headband.
yeah.
So he kind of
Yeah.
lost his resolve after that because he wanted Sasuke back. He thought he could try to do it, but he got overwhelmed by all the divine trees. And this is before even
I
Jorah.
think that plays into like the samurai aspect that bleeds over from Sasuke's character. Like
Yes.
this is the first time he has seen Hidari, so now it's like, okay, I'm not gonna wear this headband again until I resolve this situation with my master. So that's also can be like something to it too.
Yes. And we know that the three of them together, Matsuri, Mamushi, and Hidari, they're too much for Boruto as a trio. One on one, he can handle it. But it seems like in base, 1-on-1 would be close for either of them, for any of them. 3-on-1 is just, he's dead. This regarding Karma. Karma's a whole different topic.
I think, yeah, I ain't gonna, I'm not gonna hold you because in this encounter, what this told me here was that regardless of like, because everybody we miscalculated Jorah's strength. So like, let's just let that nigga float up there and above, disregarded the Shinju that's on the ground, right? Boruto like was able to, because at this point, this is pre-clash with Mamushi. I mean, this is post-clash with Mamushi, post-clash with Hidari, mind you, which he's testing out at this point the waters with both characters. So at this point, he assesses, well, shit, it is three of them, but low key, me and Code probably could wipe these niggas out. And we already saw what he thought of Code. He's like, Code, ain't gonna lie, gang, killing you
You're
is
gonna get
easy,
killed by
right?
yourself.
You know what I'm saying? So he's like, okay, Code. So I think I want to take, because I'm the type of person like,
He didn't see
you
Jorah
gotta
at the
take in
time
all of
though,
these
too.
variables. So he's like, Code, help me out.
He
Like in
didn't
his
see Jorah
mind,
at the
if
same
Code,
time too. Though. They would all would have died.
obviously with Jorah there, that's why I said disregard the nigga floating above. But I was like, in his at this point, he's assessing like, okay, me and Code can most likely take out these Shinju at that point, which might not have been too far stretched of an idea. Just seeing how things have played out, Hidari's an
But also,
exception because it's
yes.
like I don't know what Ikimoto wants to do with him, but as for like Matsuri and Mamushi specifically, it's like she established at the very least with action. You know what I'm saying? That she's above that, you know what I'm saying, high tier Naruto and Sasuke Jigen-ish level by clearly dominating someone like Gara, and then how we seen the links that she was also able to play a part in pushing Boruto towards. But we see how things played out once she got hit with that double Rasengan. Okay, cool. Boruto popped up. It's like, boom. If Ikimoto really wanted to show something about her strength, he would have gave her a proper ones. But he was like, yeah, let's just get Shorty up out here. At this point, we
See,
already
it
know
becomes
the
the problem becomes is he wanted to showcase how people can let down their guard because that was the whole
yeah.
plan with Shikamaru, and that gave Jura and the other divine trees something to learn about because they learned a new emotion. They learned that love can mess them up. It can harm them. And then Jura even says it might not be a bad way to learn about love. And if we go, let's see, back to the little sand arc, we know that under normal circumstances, Konohamaru wouldn't be able to get that off Matsuri.
No,
Matsuri also,
as far as like, yeah, I didn't even mention that nigga. Yeah, that's why I didn't even mention his name. Like, yeah, that aside, like Boruto's modesty played that role into it. But as far as like him showcasing what he could do, like he personally felt I don't know why, but as a writer, like, okay, I'm gonna go through this whole little mystery love thing that mirrors Matsuri, Moegi, Konohama. After we get through that, boom, let's get her out the show. As opposed to like he wanted to one off Delta at that point. He still gave Delta like one of the coolest fight, a cool fight at least in the manga. You know what I'm saying, to show like, oh, this is her strength, this is what she can do. So as far as that, but in terms of like where she stands, like it's already been established with like her actions and all those things coming into accord. So Boruto already admitted it, and Konohama already knows what the dealio was, because without that whole little thing like, oh, fall for this, that the double Rasengan can do the damage, but he wouldn't have caught her off guard. But Ikimoto's faithful, because I think the main thing, like regardless of strength that he's showcasing in Boruto, like as a whole, is like if you have the hacks. That's why I think it's interesting that someone like Ryu never got to fight Boruto, or possibly even maybe someone like Kawaki, because I think maybe that's a better counter. Kawaki could have shrank the sand. Who knows? I don't know how he could have reacted to that sand, but like someone like Sarada and her broken Mangekyo, and then the magical sword with this guy Araya is the keys that ultimately, excuse me, is the keys that ultimately led to their defeat. So I think it's really like he's really playing a part of like, yeah, these are strong people, but like if you got this certain hacks ability, that's what really plays the major role
100%.
inside of the battle.
And to an extent, it works in Sarada's favor because she had a crazy hacked ability too. Like basically defeat all of Ryu's abilities,
Yeah,
plus with Araya with his low
which
jutsu.
is why it had to be. Yeah, which is why it had to be Sarada, because I'm thinking like, well, if Kawaki would have been the one to fight Ryu, like, could he have shrunken, I guess, the magnetic puppeteer particles of portions of the sand, or like those was already like m- microscopic size, like you could barely see them. And we know
That is
that
true.
Kawaki's power
That is
shrink
actually
things to
really
one
true.
inch. So it's like,
That
could
is
he have
true. They're already
like
smaller
could he
than
have
1 inch.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's like, could he have stopped them from basically like Kawaki probably would have been a victim of the puppet jutsu as well. Just as Boruto, like they may have gone and back and forth, and Ryu realized, yeah, maybe you're stronger than me physically, but haha, I got you in this jutsu. Nothing you can
Yeah.
do. So
And
like
then
it
we know,
had to be Sarada to face him. So I'm
and then we
Unless
thinking like,
know,
yeah,
unless Kawaki can absorb it with his well no, that's only jutsu, right?
yeah,
yeah,
it's only
and if it has
pure
natural
chakra.
properties, he can
Yeah.
absorb it. So it's
Yeah.
like
So it's like real sand. If it's real
hard
magnetized sand,
counter,
he's not gonna be able
literal
to do that.
hard counter. So I'm like, it's specific reasons. Like Jura himself, he's an anomaly. Even Jigen and someone as strong as Ishiki, like they were considered anomalies is because like of the hard counter they posed to specifically Naruto and Sasuke. Like both of them shrink any ninjutsu you throw at me. Like that's automatically, damn, we got to figure out a way to work with these hands. Like that was all of their fights had to be until Naruto got Baryon mode, and that was able to clutch it through. So like moving past that, we see like with Code, when they're dealing with now like a Sage Naruto, they're like, oh, this claw mark jutsu, how are we gonna get away around that? He can pop up anywhere. It might be tricky, but maybe Naruto can beat him, who knows, and stuff like that. So it's really the hacks thing. Is really
And then we know,
that's
like in Matsuri's case, she was fighting at least 2 Kage level shinobi, and she didn't break a sweat.
yeah.
With Gara and uh, what's dude's name? I
Shinky.
forgot. Yeah, Shinky.
Shinky,
Yeah, Shinky.
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 Yeah. Yeah,
And then
she
we
established herself well above that type of
yes, and
like
then if we go
the
back,
current Kage level tier.
if we
She's
go
way
back
above
to
that.
part one, Gara with other Kage level shinobi, even though individually they were weaker, they were able to pull up a decent fight against Kinshiki and Otsutsuki.
Mm-hmm.
So we can kind of get a range to where Matsuri is, plus the fact that everyone's been saying that individually they're all just better than Code. Like
Yeah.
their ceiling is just higher than Code. Code's being used
And
as the
that too.
actual measuring stick, and it just seems like you either have to have a hex ability, like you said, or you have to catch them off guard, or you have to beat them by pure power.
Mm-hmm.
Because it seems like that's how it works. Because with Hidari, he had power, but he was also tricky. You needed Uzahiko to beat him, and you needed Kawaki to finish him off. But once you lost that element of surprise, he was never going to let you charge Uzahiko again. In Ryu's case, he had hacks abilities. He had the Iron Sand. On one hand, you had Araya's sword, which was negating his sand. On the other hand, you had Sarada's cracked ability, Ohirume, which basically negated all his abilities, and she beat him that way. In Matsuri's case, she was caught off guard. Ninja trickery. He weaponized her emotions,
Yeah.
and
Literally.
Konohama kind of fumbled. You know, I wish Konohama didn't fumble, but it showed that he was human. He couldn't get the final attack in. Jura says it as much that her falling in love basically led to her demise,
Yeah.
and Konohamaru hesitating
Hesitating. Yeah.
led to his potential loss until Boruto stepped in. In Mamushi's case, it's not a pure power situation either. If it was as simple as pure power, you would have just got Daemon to do it. You would have got
Yeah,
Kaoki to do it.
that's the thing. Yeah, or
So there's
Boruto.
always a nuance with all of these divine trees. There's always something more to pure power. You always got to have something extra, either a certain ability, a certain tactic, certain planning, because all these fights haven't been straightforward. Momoshiki, for the most part, was straightforward.
Literally,
Ishiki, for
and
the
that's
most
the way.
part,
I
straightforward.
think a lot of people are scaling them as if these have all been straightforward fights, and they haven't. Like, only straightforward fight has been Boruto versus Jura and Kabuki versus Jura, and the
Yeah.
little skirmish Himawari showcase. Those are the only straightforward fights. Everything else has been technicalities and scenarios placed in like basically ninja trickery. Like, yeah, we're gonna utilize this to our advantage.
Yes, and it's kind of just proving Kawaki's thought process because it shows that the ninjas can rise up. Sure, they've been taking losses. Sure, Yodo died, but that's what shinobi do.
Damn,
They
RIP
endure.
Yoda, for sure.
That's the thing, they endure, and to an extent, these ninjas are able to handle these threats. They're able to come up with new tactics. They're able to rise up to the occasion, just like Naruto said they would back in the Hokage Summit. Back when Kurochuzi was saying, "Yeah, this new generation ain't up to snuff. I hope nothing bad shows up because I don't think they're gonna handle it." Naruto said, "No, they're gonna rise up. At some point, they're gonna surpass them as a generation, and they're
Yeah.
gonna do what they did."
Yeah, because a lot of, if you think about it, prior to any of this, like majority of like world-ending threats hanging over our heads, anything learned through ninjutsu, anything gained or learned through training was purely off the strength of either A, I saw my parent do this and I thought it was cool, or B, I want to be a cool ninja just because for the fuck of it. Like, they didn't have nothing to fight for, and they able to pull off some of the crazy things as like mastering 3 different changes in chakra nature just because it's like, oh shit, they say I'm wind only, but like I want to do something with water style. How do I figure out that? You know, and that's how they grew up learning. So now you
100%.
throw world-ending threats in their face. They apply that genius to
And
urgency.
you're building
Apply that genius with urgency. That's what I meant. I
exactly, and you're
was stumbling
building
in my
on top
words.
of legacies.
Yeah,
Like in Naruto's era, you didn't learn chakra control until you were a Genin. You have that shit in the academy. You have them already knowing these elemental ninjutsus in the academy, something that you needed to be a Jonin, Chunin, or even a Jonin to learn. To where
exactly.
becoming a Jonin means to know 2 changes in chakra natures. Boruto had 3. Shikadai had wind style. Mitsuki had a couple. Sarada has a couple. They were all basically Team 7 was cracked. That's why I always
Yeah.
say Konohamaru was kind of downplayed, because unlike Kakashi, who really got like 3 green students, except for like Sasuke, Konohamaru kind of got like a platoon of Jonin, of new Jonin, elite Chunin or Jonin. Boruto was at that Jonin level
Yeah.
as a Genin. He was at that Chunin level as an academy student. Sarada was right there with him. Mitsuki 100% was right there. So it seemed like he had competent ninjas. That's why Konohamaru couldn't really do much, because it was more of a, instead of a student-teacher relationship, it was more of a relationship of, yeah, you watch my back, I watch your back. Unlike Kakashi, who for the most part had to do the saving, other than a few like shorter moments of where Naruto and Sasuke would save him or like do something surprising.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and act like Konohamaru ain't have to like come through and save them a few times, but like
He did,
it's
but
like,
it
come
was
on, but
more
like
even. It was more
it's
even.
more like they watch his back and they
Yeah.
watch his back again. It's like, this nigga don't be doing shit. But yeah, I know what you mean though. I know what you mean.
And then it goes back, the next generation will always learn from the older generation's mistakes. I can use Avatar as an example. I know people don't like Korra a lot. Like, I personally have no problem with Korra. I like the show, but like, think about Avatar. Back in the day, manipulating electricity, manipulating lightning was something that not a lot of firebenders could do. Only
Now
like
she daily 95 in the core.
yeah, exactly. The only real people who could do it was Ozai, Azula, and Iroh.
Yeah.
Fast
And
forward
then
75 years
Luthor.
later, it's an average job. You're getting paid minimum wage to go to a power plant and generate
And charge
electricity.
that bitch up. Charge with your
Exactly.
fucking lights.
It became a run of the mill jutsu. It became a run of the mill technique. That's basically showing the advancement of society, of technology, of ability, of skill. Same thing's going on in the village, and it's not necessarily bad. I feel like people are are expecting these shinobi to stagnate when in reality they're learning based off of their parents and
Yeah.
based off technology. I mean, just look at Sumire, her fixing up Naruto's sword, making
Or
it better, and replicating Sasuke's technique with pure technology. Plus, the special material we don't even know about yet because she hasn't explained it, which I personally think it will prevent Kawaki from shrinking that sword. That's a whole other discussion. So it shows that these characters are surpassing their predecessors one by one. They're not necessarily all going to be stronger than Naruto or all going to be stronger than Madara, but
Yeah.
Shikadai is definitely on the way of surpassing Shikamaru. Inojin's making new techniques surpassing Ino. Chojo's
Mm.
up there. Himawari's up there surpassing Naruto. So they're individually they're all improving
In their
compared to
own
their
right.
in their own right compared to what their predecessors could do.
Yeah. I
Yeah, no,
absolutely
that's
agree.
true. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, that's like every generation, though. Every generation gets stronger than the next
And I feel
because
like
they
that's
learn from the generation prior.
Yeah.
that's what people forget. For example, let's use Madara and Hashirama. Madara and Hashirama aren't a generation; they're outliers. They're single people. As a
Mhm.
whole, the next generation surpassed them as a whole. As for example, the new generation, we have people like Kawaki and people like Boruto who surpassed Naruto and Sasuke. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean everyone from their generation is going to be stronger than Naruto and Sasuke. It just means as a whole, their generation is improving way past compared to the old generation. It's not going to be a
Yeah.
one-to-one, everyone's stronger than the old generation. It's just going to be
Yeah,
as a whole, this generation uh, spawned many more shinobi that were of higher quality than the last era.
yeah,
That's
and
the thing. I feel
It's
like
mean,
people forget
literally,
that.
yeah.
you
They
can
forget
bring that.
that.
You can like tie that into IRL too. Like the last generation. I mean, like book smarts wise, you can say they got dumber, but they learned math quicker than a prior generation. Like you always hear parents say, "I don't know that math. We ain't learn this until blah blah blah." Blah." So like like kids get smarter, but then you always have those outliers like Einstein and stuff like that, where
100%.
like
Like for
yeah,
example,
exactly.
I feel like people forget Naruto is not his generation. Sasuke is not his generation. They're
Mhm.
outliers of a generation.
Exactly.
As a whole, the new gen is surpassing the new gen as a whole, the old gen as a whole.
Oh,
You're
yeah,
not
for
gonna
real.
say oh, Chocho didn't surpass Naruto, so the new gen didn't surpass the old gen. It doesn't work like that. They're outliers. Just like how when you compare people's chakra reserves, you don't compare Naruto as the norm because Naruto's an outlier when you talk about chakra because his chakra got forcibly expanded by Nine Tails over the years. So his
Yeah.
chakra reserves are in a whole different ballpark, not because of genetics, but because of circumstances. So you can't really use
Genetics
him.
as well.
Well, it's
Genetics.
genetics as well, but for example, uh, Nine Tails chakra would progressively leak out of his seal and expand his chakra network and become his own chakra. So he had a buttload of chakra compared to normal. He wouldn't have had that amount of chakra if he never had Nine Tails. So he's
Yeah.
an outlier in that circumstance. So like if you're comparing chakra reserves, you can't use Naruto as the gold standard because he's an outlier. He's not the norm.
And
Even
then
when he lost Kurama, he's still an outlier. Like,
yeah.
Yes, because he kept that
Yes.
chakra.
still, like, it's crazy how much chakra he
Exactly,
had.
because he kept that chakra. That chakra doesn't go away with Kurama because that chakra
Yeah.
became his chakra. He well, let me think. He had Kurama for like what 33 years, right?
Yeah.
That's 33 years of Kurama's chakra progressively going into his chakra network and becoming his own chakra and expanding his reserves. So he had 33 years of his chakras just getting stronger and stronger because of Kurama. That's
Yeah.
gonna stay.
And through the years too, though, like their chakra pools become
I
bigger
mean,
as
it's
well.
even show. It's
And
even. It's
stuff
even.
like that too. But like
Hold on.
even with outliers as well, like when you have an outlier, you have somebody who comes in the next generation that uses that outlier and they use that outlier and they make whatever they did better or like
Yeah,
they progress
100%.
beyond them. Like as far as like Boruto and Minato, like he has a flying rising and he's trying to progress it to make it better. So like Minato was an outlier, but
Yeah, 100%.
Boruto built upon his foundation.
Which, funny enough, I hate when people try to make Minato seem like he's from like this distinguished clan, when in reality, Minato was a regular dude.
Yeah.
He was just a once in a lifetime anomaly. He was just a
Yep.
freak.
Yeah,
Like he was just a random dude. Like that, he was
he,
just good.
hands down would have been like one of the strongest out there. Word to Minato, but yeah, he would have been
Yeah,
like
I think people
any
like
problem.
yeah, I think people just think like they associate clan with
Like
strongest.
power, which that's not always the
Yeah,
case. Look at
when that's
Sakura.
not what it was.
Like as
Yeah.
much as people clown on Sakura, Sakura is one of the strongest Konoichi in the village, and she was just a regular person. She didn't
The
come from
Harano
a
plan.
clan. Her
We would have
parents were
fucked on
just
the
Genin.
Harano.
Her parents never made it past Genin. They were just
Yeah, I
regular
remember
people.
that. Yeah.
And I also think that I think because we've seen like pivoting to the Uchiha section, because we've seen all the Uchihas with Sharingans, we forget the Sharingan ain't a universal thing for Uchihas.
Yeah.
Not a lot of
Not all of
Uchihas
them are
awaken
like
it.
yeah.
So Sarada being able to awaken the Sharingan, plus awaken the Sharingan at a young age, she makes her an anomaly
And
too, because
being half Uchiha at that.
yeah, because not a
Even
lot
though
of
one did in the past, but still.
exactly because not a lot of Uchihas awaken the Sharingan. Same thing goes with the Byakugan. With the lore dump we had with the updated lore, not a lot of Hyuga awakened the Byakugan, and to even awaken it, you have to do intense training, which makes Himawari a huge outlier for even being able to awaken the Byakugan at such a young age and just having it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, for the most part, it's like it's true because at this point, like the norm would be measured against people like who would be considered great in the era, but not like beyond reach in terms of level, like someone like Konohamaru, people like Sai, you know what I'm saying? And even someone who probably no, I can't go on like Kakashi himself, he's still an outlier. He's always been an
Yeah,
outlier.
100%. He's
But
always been an outlier for his
but
generation.
yeah, like people in that regular, like don't mess with level, but still like regular level. I'll even say maybe like the Kages for the most part. Even someone like Gara, you know, it's like, yeah, these are like the expected levels where it's like, yeah,
I
these
mean,
niggas is like that.
just look
You know?
at Chocho. Look at 13-year-old Choji. What he had to do to tap into butterfly mode. He had to take pills. It took him years before he could do it at will by himself.
Yep.
12-year-old Chocho's casually doing it whenever she wants.
But good because she got taught by her dad though too.
Exactly. Exactly. So you're passing off your jutsu. You're passing off your will of fire. You're passing on your ninja way. You're building on top of what you already learned. So you're not stagnating. The generation is improving. They are increasing, and it feels like people don't want it to happen. Like I get it, Naruto, Sasuke, they're fan favorites, but they're not a Goku and Vegeta. They're not going to keep constantly improving and just taking on the spotlight. That's
Yeah.
not how the Naruto verse really works. It's always been about passing on your legacy, not doing everything by yourself, letting people help you, and it goes back to the same conversation Hashirama had with Madara. You shouldn't have tried to do everything on your own so fast. Let the next generation take over the torch. Let them pass the torch to them. Let them try to improve upon what you started.
Yeah.
Yeah, they try to do that with Dragon Ball Z and pass the torch to Gohan, but it didn't work. So Boruto really did take a leap of faith as far as
I'm not gonna lie, Boruto itself, like as a story, is an outlier and an anomaly. Because think about it, like realistically speaking, name me one sequel, mind you, to one of the most popular stories of all time, but name me one sequel that was managed to like obviously come out as a sequel. We know how people feel about sequels. We know the automatic dip in fandom and viewership sequels get. Name me one sequel that's so popular enough to not only stand on its own as a series, but then also get a sequel of that sequel.
Oh,
Like,
100%. 100%.
like Boruto is really different. Like,
Yeah.
that's what's crazy about it. It's really different.
Plus the fact that it's one of VJump's top earning IPs, next to Dragon Ball Super. And you know, Dragon Ball Super is just Goku.
Literally.
Dragon Ball Super is a sequel, and it's also following the line of it not like it's selling well. It's just not recreating what Dragon Ball did. But at the end of the day, it's just Goku.
Exactly.
Then we have other sequels like Yashahime. You know, Yasha's sequel. It was okay, but it ended. You know, it was fun.
Didn't watch it, and I love Inuyasha, one of my top five.
Exactly.
Medulla is peak. You know, Medulla is great. JJK Medulla. But at the end of the day, Medulla was
Oh, yeah, I
always
was
going to be
gonna
a
say
shorter. It was
Mhm.
always going to be a shorter series, and I'm pretty sure it's about to end in like 2 more chapters or 3 more chapters. Correct me if I'm wrong.
And most sequels, they establish like what they bring over from the original. Like, there's so many people in the Boruto that never watched Naruto. Like, that's like that's how much it stands on its own. It's like they got into this world. They was like, hey, I'm gonna go around and watch Naruto. Or some niggas they just like, yeah, I've never watched Naruto, but hey, I rock with
And,
Boruto though.
you
I'm
know,
like,
not to
it's
mention
really like got people like that. So I'm like, that's crazy.
100%. Not to mention the longevity that Boruto's had. The Naruto manga went on for like what 14, 15 years. Boruto's about to hit is hitting 10 this year. It's
And I
getting
feel like
really
it's just
close.
starting.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's getting really close to how long Naruto ran.
Yeah.
This is
Uh,
not fucking regular. It's just that the hate is so
exactly.
popular. It's hard to notice this, but like, yeah, the shit that Boruto's doing is not regular. Like,
Not to mention them actually making a whole separate manga, them doing a whole rebrand, them starting to market the manga even more, and it makes it seem like we still got a couple years left of Boruto, so it
Oh no,
might
we
actually
definitely
hit.
do.
It might actually double what Naruto as a whole. Naruto went like 14, 15 years. If Boruto gets close to that 14, 15 range,
it might hit 20. It might hit that
I
20.
don't think it'll hit 20. As much as I
It
love
might.
Naruto, it could, but
As far as like releasing new product, like, well, I ain't gonna say
new
that
product is a
because
given.
yeah,
New
the
product is a
the
given.
manga will end earlier. But
But
like the
Boruto,
manga, I mean the anime I said, like that will be like it's gonna be going on for a while, guys. Like
Yeah,
this
no,
shit's gonna
it
go
is.
for
yes.
a
I agree.
minute.
Could I add something too as well? With that,
Mm.
yeah, everybody like, comment, subscribe. By the way, and we also got Juju who joined the podcast. What's good, Juju? I didn't want to leave you down there hanging. Just want to
Yo,
pick the perfect
What's
moment.
going on, y'all?
Oh, what's going on, Drew?
You on a
what's
minute?
good?
Chilling, man. I didn't want to interrupt y'all. Y'all were cooking on, man.
No,
I
you
doing
I
all
good.
right?
didn't even keep you joined. That's
I just wanted to get get it in there at a perfect time, because I think we should we're missing the last part of this chapter. I think we should go back to this chapter.
Yes, hang on, got it right
oh
here.
yeah, the plan shift. Now Damon's
Yes.
about to start getting active. Yeah.
While we get there too,
That's
though,
what
how do you feel about the chapter?
Are you
Juju,
asking me?
Juju, yeah, my bad.
Unfortunately, I've only seen the spoilers. I haven't read the full chapter yet.
That's crazy.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
We went
Nah, it'd
over
be like that.
the whole thing too. That's crazy.
It's definitely a good read. I definitely like I read the spoilers too, but reading the official one was peak. This is just a lot of side information you can just like theorize and like look into, which I feel like is one of the reasons why this is such a great chapter, especially because it's the second to last chapter of volume 8. I think the next chapter will end off the volume, so I
Yeah.
really have high hopes for the next chapter.
Yeah, no, I came in surprised. I didn't even see the leaks, which is crazy. I came in
I mean,
surprised.
I called it though at the start of the arc. I'm like, chapter 31, 32 is we see some Damon action. Like, and it's looking like chapter 32, Damon finna get active finally. So
Nah, I honestly think it's going to end with a cliffhanger, bro.
I
on the
think it
next
might.
chapter,
I
Yeah.
think it might.
it's obviously gonna be a
Yeah.
cliffhanger, but like
No,
Damon's
I'm talking
finna
about
work
with
this.
Damon. Like, we're not going to see Damon fight. It's going to end off with a cliffhanger.
Oh, I think we will though. I
Oh
kind of
nah,
feel that, but
he's
I think we
putting
will.
boot to
Yeah.
next chapter for sure, bro. He's
No, no,
putting
no,
boot
no.
to
What
neck.
I'm saying is they're going to get there, and they're going to finally get to them. And I think you're going to see Damon face off with Mamushi, and it's going to end there. That's just my personal opinion.
No, I know what I'm like. So you're saying like that's what I'm saying. You're saying like we're not gonna see them actually fight yet, but we're gonna see
Nah,
it.
32 is I think is when they're going to. I mean, 33 is when I think they're going to fight.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
Even
think
though
no, I think they're gonna fight in 32. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think we're gonna see that. Like it's gonna bleed into 33, but like
Yeah.
I'm gonna
I
drop a
think
poll. Which I think, chat 32 or 33? Because I
I think
think
the cliffhanger in 32 is gonna be like whatever technical, because he's not stronger than Damon, bro. I don't care these clones; they ain't really touching Damon, bro. But like whatever
I'm not
technical
saying
way
he's
he
stronger
figures
than
out.
Damon.
No, I'm
I'm
saying,
just saying.
I'm saying whatever technical way he figures out how to beat Damon, like that's gonna be the cliffhanger of chapter 32. That's what I
Yeah,
was
one
gonna say.
hundred percent. Because if we go in this line of thinking where Boruto and Kawaki are each individually stronger than Mamushi, if Damon still believes he's over them, then physically Damon is over Mamushi. It's just the technicality situation, like you said, because we
Yeah,
know Ada gets devoured. We just don't know how Damon messes up or how Mamushi manages to do it.
yeah,
It's gonna be a tech situation, a situation where whoever outsmarts the other first will get that win. Plus, correct me if I'm wrong. Was Daemon in the mind transfer link when they talked about Mamushi's
Yeah,
weaknesses? He was,
yeah,
right?
yeah. He's one of the
So
people
it
that's
would
in
it would
there.
have to depend on if he follows that plan. Because if he's going gun ho blazing and killing multiple Mamushis without like making sure they're all gone, Mamushi's gonna get smarter. Mamushi could just split it off again. The real way to really get rid of Mamushi is to kill them all at once. Kill them all at once while they're dumb, so they can't get their intelligence back and they can't split off. It would just have to depend on whether Damon's arrogant enough to where he doesn't think he needs that. If he says, "Nah, I'd
What if
win,"
he what if he got water style and we just never knew? And he just like,
What?
and I don't know why I'm just on this. I thought it went the Sarada or something, but like, what if Damon just pop out right like in
oh
the
man,
field of like
seeing Damon
50
do hand
Mamushi,
signs,
and
that
then
would
he
be
just like
hilarious.
he just holds his gun, his fingers like a pistol, and just start
Water pistol
blasting
jutsu,
powerful
yo.
ass water juice. Yeah, like powerful ass water pistols, just boom, boom, boom. And he just
Hmm.
standing there, one hand in his hoodie pocket, the other hand, what I'm saying, blasted shit. What I'm saying, probably got a lollipop at his hoodie on.
Ah, you really want to give him a gun. You really
That
want to
shit
give
is
Damon a
crazy.
gun.
It's like the more complex a power system is it not funny when a nigga just
It
pull out a
would be
gun,
funny.
bro?
It would
It just be like
100% be funny.
it's like, bro, come on,
And
bro.
there's
It's like when
Damon
Toji,
turning into Sugetsu.
bro, when Toji pulled out a gun in JJK, that shit had me crying. I was like, there's no way we talking about all this crazy astronomical power. Dude was like, fuck it, I got this 9mm though. How about this?
I have a question for y'all. Why do y'all think that Ada's gonna get devoured?
I feel
I
like
don't.
she had
Yeah.
yeah, Uchiha doesn't, but I think she will. I think she either has to get devoured or incapacitated because right now it feels like Boruto's been winning too much. It feels like them as a whole have been winning too much. I don't personally think we'll get too many more divine trees. I don't think we'll really get divine trees
They,
because we
you
have to
said
move
they've
on from
been
Jura.
winning too much
Yes, we haven't
since the
really been
Shinju have appeared, or
since the Sinju have appeared because we've only really lost Yodo and a couple of random Joni. So
well,
far,
we lost Sasuke too.
yes, but Sasuke's temporarily incapacitated. That's the situation for that. Right
Yeah, so they
now,
have to defeat Hadari.
yes.
Yeah.
And it feels
So
like right now
they have taken a couple L's. Like they haven't just
they
they're
have, but
not
it
just
feels like
undefeated.
it's not a permanent loss to their strength right now because we got to remember we got what's her name? We got Moegi back first of all.
Yeah,
We got
Yeah,
we
that's
haven't
not
lost
really a
anybody
W. Like, what
critical.
is Moegi gonna bring to the table that's really relevant? Like, what
Exactly.
are we
So
talking? The
that
only
brings this
W
point.
that I could see
We
is
haven't
if they
lost
bring
anybody
Sasuke back.
critical.
the situation becomes though if they beat Mamushi without taking a significant loss, they still have the Senragon. With Mamushi gone, Ada can now use the Senragon to spy on Jura and Hidari again.
Yeah, that's not gonna do anything to Jura though.
Yeah, 100%. But it feels like they're inching out the divine trees without facing any real consequences. And we also got to remember, we still haven't seen what happens when a divine tree devours their target. That could have been
My
Konohamaru,
exact
but
point.
Boruto saved Konohamaru, so that option is gone. Himawari is not going to get devoured more likely than not because
I
of
mean, we've
World
seen
War II.
Ada in the flash
Yes,
forward scene.
yes.
So
We also know
Well,
that
that was just a possible. That was just a future. That one
yes,
future that he
possible
was
future.
saying. Yeah, it was
We
not
also
saying
have
that definitively will happen.
yes, we also have the fact that more likely than not, Sarada's not dying. Himawari is not dying. Naruto's
as
probably
far as
not
like
dying.
not saying it's happening, but as far as like when a Shinju devours a target, we see what like they're just gonna turn into a tree. Like that's it.
Yes, but the thing
So
is, Koji seems to make a distinction between them being sealed in a tree and them being dead in a tree.
yeah,
He
well, yeah.
specifically
As far as
said,
that, like, yeah, they're gonna be dead. As
yeah.
to being,
So it feels like we need to see one of them actually get their target because it feels like we're not getting another divine tree. We have to
I
move
mean,
past.
what's wrong with the main characters winning? Like, that's why they're the main characters. They're supposed to
That is
how
win.
about
fair.
say,
Well, because
how about
like
say, Jura right
one
now
thing,
himself, like,
one thing,
it's too much
Until
of a
Jura
problem.
shows up,
Like,
you can just
they
say
need to
that
pick
like they're
these other
supposed
niggas
to
off.
win.
but
That is
You can
let me
say
add this though. Like if they get rid of Mamushi, right? And say Mamushi doesn't devour Ada, you have Daemon, you have Kawaki, you have Boruto, you have Himawari, you have four people who will be able to go against Jura. Now, if Mamushi is still in the picture and he devours Ada, and whatever happens when he devours Ada and he say get a power up or whatever. Then you have Mamushi and Jorah versus them. So I think it will raise the stakes a little bit higher than just Jorah, because we got to see Jorah
Sure.
fight Boruto and Kawaki, and he got fucked up. Even though he was able to restore himself, but still he got fucked up in that fight.
And then
So
there's
My
also,
my my only response to both, like, because it seems like both of y'all have the same sort of theory. My only response to that is like they can achieve that without necessarily consuming Ada.
and they can 100%, but
yeah,
it goes to the fact that there will be a couple of loose ends if Mamushi does die, because unlike Sasuke, unlike Moegi, unlike Shinki, Bug's tree is not accessible to them right now. If they do destroy Mamushi and they get the Thorn Soul, they have no way of getting rid of that Thorn Soul unless Code comes and takes it. Because right now, Ten Tails dimension is closed off to them.
who
Boruto
the
can't
hell
teleport.
knows who Bug is
I
besides
don't even think
Rock?
Mamushi's gonna get defeated.
And that could be a thing too. He could retreat.
Mm,
He could
for
definitely
sure.
retreat. It's
For
just
sure.
I feel like it would be interesting to see Mamushi actually take that win, or at least do something to where Boruto fails. Because it seems like he has no consequences of his actions. He didn't face a consequence for saving Konohamaru. He didn't face a consequence yet for interfering with Kobu. So I want to see him struggle a bit. I want to see a situation to where they lose their Senragon. Also, if they lose the Senragon, Koji cannot reliably use his prescience anymore because he won't know the exact timeline that's happening. Ada really helped him out in the sand because she was giving him the exact play-by-play
Yeah, they
to
need
where
to
he could
cripple them somehow.
to where he could specifically maneuver mentally and make up new strategies. If he fails in that, he's gonna have to rely on other people more, like Enojin, for example. He's gonna have to rely on Enojin telling him what's happening and all that other
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
you're
I'm
definitely
not
right.
sure if they really need the Sirigan. Like obviously having it is definitely
Having it is a
helpful.
net positive, but
Yeah, of
you're
course,
right.
of
They
course.
definitely don't need it. But what if, for example, hypothetically, because if we go along on the train of thought of Hidari thinking he might get the Sharingan if he devours Sarada, what if Mamushi ends up getting the Senragan? What if Mamushi can now
I mean, he
use?
said he literally
Wow,
said he wanted her
that's
genetics
OP,
because
bro.
he
Yes.
wanted her like he
So
wanted that
if
shit.
you have, for example, the Senragan, right? And you have, for example, if their lifespan is tied to the original Ten Tails has been there for a minute. If Juro wants to peep in and say, "Yo, Mamushi, let me know where Naruto Uzumaki is." Oh, bet 3 years ago,
He can see
Kawaki
through
killed him.
Mamushi's eyes at that too, though.
Easy, man.
Exactly.
So
So
he can use Mamushi. He can use the Sengoragon through Mamushi, and
exactly. And if
That's
it's tied,
assuming that he can even use it.
yes, assuming he can
Like,
use it.
me,
yeah. That's also another
And
caveat. But, yeah.
hypothetically, if he can, that's a lot of information that Juro can get. Juro wants a ton of
True.
information. Now suddenly, he knows the exact positions of all his targets. He knows where Naruto is. He knows for a fact what he has to do to get Naruto out. Either force Kawaki to do it or steal his eye hypothetically. So I feels like it balances the amount of power between them. He'd also hypothetically figure out that Koji's been the one that's been tipping Boruto off.
Mm-hmm.
He'd also know Koji's the one with the prescience. He'd know what prescience is.
Mm-hmm.
And it would basically make things a lot harder for the group and kind of equalize both sides, because it seems like to an extent Jura's side has been losing and Jura's just watching and like having that bit
I
of
mean,
apathy.
have they like you think like losing Matsuri is really that big of a deal, bro?
It's not a big of a deal. It's 100% not a big of a deal. But we have seen that Jura is worried. He doesn't like his kind being destroyed to where he actually wanted to kill Boruto. His instinct for eating Boruto took the back seat to where this man's dangerous. He knows the secret about us. I can't let him live. That's dangerous for me and for everyone, and for like everyone on my side.
Well,
So
I interpret the scene where he could have saved Matsuri, he chooses not to, as if he doesn't care about them as much as we think.
I can see that too, because so far he's only really saved Hidari. He's
Yeah,
only
I
been
think
really
he's only
close to
saved the
Hidari.
ones that actually matter. So like Hidari, I think has a lot of potential, and if they did, consume Hidari or get his thorn bulb, then Sasuke could be a big advantage for Konoha. But I think
100%.
Yeah, so I think the people that are clearly advantages, we see that those are the people he's going to care about, especially to go out his way to save. I'm not sure if Masuri really like, like maybe, hey, look, maybe she might be her. Maybe I'm just
The
sleeping
thing
on it.
is, we gotta remember with Matsuri, she was more of their scout. She was able to get information from them. She was able to talk to that like little root system that's on Earth, to where she was able to kind of get some information on Koji, pinpoint his last location, which led her to the sand. So they each
Jura can do
had.
that too.
I didn't hear you.
Jura can do that too.
Yeah, Jura can do that too, but it felt
Yeah.
like she was like just doing the bulk work while he was getting information. We also know, like what you said, Sasuke could definitely be useful.
Yep.
Jura knows a lot about techniques for some reason. Whether he got that from books, whether he knows that from being
Definitely the
Tails,
books.
he knew about Senrigan, which with the Senrigan, I don't think they just have that in a book. Like the Sharingan, definitely. You know about the Sharingan can be found in the library. The only thing that bothers me is he knew exactly about the Senrigan. So it makes me think that to an extent he has some information just ingrained inside of his mind for some reason, which I don't really understand why he would. But he
It
definitely
probably
just
comes from his genetics.
yeah.
Like
That's
the
what I
genetic
thought too.
information, yes. Yeah.
And he knew like a lot about code, which I guess it would be self-explanatory because code kind of indirectly created them. But I really
Yeah.
want to see the situation of, for example, Mamushi winning, because if Mamushi does get his target, it kind of gives Jura the idea of what would happen to him if he got his targets, either Naruto or Himawari. So I feel like to an extent it kind of
Hey,
benefits Jura.
what's better with that? What if we like consume Himawari? Because I know earlier y'all was saying, well, it can't be Himawari or Sarada, but like I think if Boruto is put in a situation where he has to fight his own sister, compared to like fighting Ada, who he doesn't really have, like he has some type of relationship with Ada, but it's not as strong as it is with Himawari. That would severely make him suffer. That would be something that like would be even more exaggerated than Ada.
Oh,
Like
100%.
the
Having a divine tree Himawari would be cracked. The
yeah.
problem is though, for that to happen, if we take Koji off face value, for that to happen, she'd have to get bitten by a clog rhyme. If she gets devoured by Jura, she's dead. Because Koji has repeatedly said, if Jura devours Himawari, she's just dead. That's it. It's gone. She's gone. Same thing with Ada. He makes it a point to say that Ada will die, and we see her in a tree, so it makes it seem like getting bitten by a cloud gram and getting put into a tree is a lot different than getting devoured by a divine tree and then being put into a tree. He makes it seem like once that happens, you can't come back. You're dead. So it would have to depend on if we take Koji off face value. Because if they're sealed,
Nah, he's being deceptive 100%. We cannot. After the last couple of chapters, when they're just asking him questions, he has a little cloak and he's covered in like just the pure blackness and darkness, bro. And he just doesn't sound like, nah, never trust this guy, bro.
and for all we
cannot.
know, that could 100% be the reason. Like Ada could get
Yeah.
eaten, and then we get a divine tree Ada. So it would
Yeah.
have to really depend on whether you decide to take him off face value, or you decide to be suspicious of him and wait for the chapter to come out, because it could go either way. We still don't fully know what the difference is. Right now, it looks the same. Like Ada's a tree, Sasuke's a tree. For some reason, Koji is making us believe there's a difference between a treat Ada and a treat Sasuke. Treat Sasuke is still alive. He's saying treat Ada is just dead. So we really have to see when someone gets devoured, which is why I think we need someone to get devoured, because we need to see exactly what happens, unless they do something weird like what they did with Naruto. But we got to see what would happen if all the Jinchurikis got got basically put into Ten Tails, but we still got Naruto and Killer Bee off of technicalities. They only sealed half. They only sealed half of Nine Tails into Ten Tails, and when they got Eight Tails from Killer Bee, he was able to survive off one tail's worth of chakra. So unless they do something like that, which I don't think they will, we do need someone to get offered up as a sacrifice. And if it's a death scenario, I feel like you could only really do Ada unless you get another divine tree, or like you said, if we're not taking him off face value, then yeah, you can just seal them off in the tree and we'll just get them back later.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it would have to depend on whether Koji's being truthful.
Trust Koji.
Because if he is truthful, the only one who fits the bill is Ada. If he's lying, then you can get Himawari, you can get Ada, you can get Sarada. It doesn't really matter because you know that once you beat their divine tree, you'll get them back later. So it just has to depend on whether Koji's being truthful. And I think we will find out in this arc if Mamushi's able to either win or manipulate the situation of getting a target of somehow.
Yeah, I guess it would just be really weird if like Koji's statement would directly contradict the many examples that we have of people coming back from being divine trees, and all of a sudden Ada is just a special. I don't know why she would be this like special exception for whatever reason. That's just unexplained, but it wouldn't really make sense with other
Well,
situations that we
what
see.
he's saying is basically it's different. So if a divine tree devours their target, for some reason it's different than a Clygram just like eating someone, just biting someone. So for example, when Matsuri was about to devour Konohamaru, Boruto said, "Is Konohamaru gonna die?" He basically confirmed, yeah. If Matsuri devours Konohamaru, Konohamaru will die. He won't be sealed in a tree. He'll just be dead in a tree. Same thing with Himawari. He seemed to say that if Jura gets her, she's dead. There's no compromise. Same thing with
But
Sarada and Ada. So he makes
isn't that weird? Because in the when we see the future, or we see like Ada and Himawari dead in the future, she's not in the tree at all, right?
yes. So it makes it seem
Mhm.
like
It
Mamushi.
makes it
It
seem
makes it
like
seem like Mamushi killed,
Mamushi killed Himawari
which is
as
weird
a
because he would be
repercussion.
going exactly, and which is weird because it would seem like he's going against Jura. So
Mhm.
we need more info on that because it could be so many different things. It could be
Right.
Himawari getting in the way of trying to save
Exactly.
someone
Right.
and her just getting killed. Because realistically, no matter how dumb Mamushi gets, there should be no reason of him trying to steal Jura's target. He's gonna piss off Jura. He has that
Yeah,
self-preservation.
he has to just be really stupid and making a bad decision. Yeah.
Exactly. So I feel like in that situation, if that timeline's current, because I am open to it being a dead timeline of certain events just going differently. But if it is the event where she has nine tails and it's this current Himawari, I feel like the only way she'd die is if she got in the way. If she tried to save someone and made a mistake and just died. I don't think Mamushi would willingly kill her because that would go against what Koji said. That yeah, it doesn't matter how dumb he'll get, he's not gonna piss off Jura. Pissing off Jura means destroying the village or getting rid of his target. So I think there's more with the Himawari circumstance.
I see.
Yeah, I agree.
We'll find out eventually. I feel like if Koji's telling the truth, it just what's bothering me is why would Koji lie
Yeah, about that
if
particular
everyone survived?
situation.
If for example, if Konohamaru would survive, if Konohamaru was going to be a tree, and he needed Konohamaru to be a tree, why not tell Boruto that yeah, Konohamaru will be sealed, but as long as you beat Jura, he'll be back. That's my issue with it because it makes it seem like why are you doing this unless you really wanted Boruto to end up there. So it feels like either Koji's playing 5D chess or he's being honest that yeah, these people will die, and that's just it. So we'll just have to really watch the next one or two chapters very closely to see what happens with the Mamushi situation because we might find out exactly what being devoured by a divine tree entails.
I'm on a
Correct.
part of the fandom where I'm like, I don't really. It's like, I mean, yeah, I guess, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't think it's that missing like that big of a deal if we don't see a divine tree devour a target. And also, I'm on a part where it's like, I really think it's like, yeah, they turned them into a tree and they're dead. Like that's it. So like I think the more grittiness about it is more like the ins and outs and the details of how it almost happens and doesn't, or what occurs around these plot points and threads. That's what I think. Like me personally, that's why I'll be like,
100%.
I don't really think Ada's gonna die because of that. So I'm like, I
Plus
don't
we
think
know
she's gonna die.
Plus, we
So
know the future's already changed because we know right now Inojin is in Koji's base.
yeah.
The alternate timeline showed Inojin like in the battlefield crying over Himawari. So the future has greatly differed already by having Inojin know that new jutsu already, having Boruto interfere with the fight with the battles. So we can still change it. I just feel like in my personal opinion, I feel like we'll break even. I feel like Himawari will live, but as a trade-off, Ada will die, or at least get incapacitated. Because I feel like that's a situation. Plus, I was talking to a couple of friends about this, but Kawaki is going to the location, so it feels like if Kawaki is going there, if for example Himawari gets in trouble, he's the type of person to just abandon Ada. Say, yeah, screw you, Ada. I'm gonna go save Himawari. So I feel like it would be really interesting to see that parallel of like what Sasuke kind of did to Karin, where he kind of like didn't care anymore and just let her die, tried to let her die. In
Yeah.
Kawaki's case, if he goes to Ada and he sees her about to get devoured, he's gonna save uh Himawari if push comes to shove.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think like though it's like it can work. It will probably work. Who knows if he wants to kill off Ada this arc? It's just that it's like certain nuances can be explored in the area where it's like it doesn't have to be, not just because like I like Ada as a character, but like in terms of like, oh, seeing the Shinju devour their target in general. Like aside from Jura and his whole conquest with like Naruto or Himawari, in terms of like putting the pressure in that regard, like I really don't care for like them actually devouring someone and seeing, like I don't really care to see what happens. Like regardless, like if we never went and even gotten the flash forward scene of Ada in the tree and confirming like that's what it would look like, I still wouldn't have cared to see like, oh wait, what happens if they get devoured? Because we're at a point where like we can have repercussions without them. Like
Yeah,
at the end of
I
the day,
agree.
the bad guy doesn't have to like accomplish their goal, but they can still make the protagonistic side suffer from a repercussion of their actions. So like something like Yodo, but up the scales. That's why I personally thought, I was like, oh snap, he might actually
Konohamaru.
kill. Well, Konohamaru too, but I thought he might actually kill Kobu this arc, because I'm like, that could be a repercussion that he's building up towards. Like, we're not
Mhm.
probably gonna get these targets devoured throughout the story. We might get close to a few, but let's show you like the repercussions of these actions in order to avoid these targets getting devoured.
I
Like,
agree. I just feel like if that were to happen, we need Koji to drop some lore. Because I feel like it'll always be something that's in the back of our mind. What would have happened if they devoured a target? Because so far we've seen three different events. I lost my train of thought for a second. So we saw Jura about to put Himawari in a tree. So we've seen how this is how he tried to devour her, basically.
you know,
So pretty self-explanatory. In Matsuri's situation, it was a lot different. It seemed like she was more so trying to kill him than devour him, which I don't know if she was gonna put him in a tree, if she was gonna bite him.
she was
But
Probably ate
stabbing him
him.
with those
She's the
things from his neck.
Otsutsuki,
it,
or I mean, she's partly Otsutsuki. She probably would have ate him, or she's kind of like a claw grime, ten tails ish type of character. I think she would definitely would have ate him for
well,
sure.
I agree, and we know that Ada ends up as a tree. We just don't know how Mamushi's way of devouring her would have worked. So we've only really seen two intros and then one ending. We've seen Himawari almost get devoured. We've
Hmm.
seen Konohamaru kind of get stabbed and like kind of encircled with her
Tentacles.
with her. Yeah, we can use the wooden technicals. So I don't know how that would have worked. Would he have been a tree? Or would she have just took him into her body or something? I don't
Yeah.
know. But we've seen these two intros, and then we've seen the full effect with Mamushi. We just don't know how he did it. So I
Yeah,
really want to
exactly.
see
Yeah.
how he specifically does it. And if he does try to do it with Ada, we'll finally know for a fact, is Koji standing on business? Are they just dead? Like, we're never going to get Ada back? Or is there's something more going on in the background where he doesn't want to tell us anything that we don't need to know, and for some reason he wants us to believe, or he wants also Boruto to believe that these people are gonna die, that Himawari is gonna die. So I really want to see what happens. I don't think we get the full effect if they never come close, because once Mamushi gets killed and he doesn't devour anyone, unless we get a new divine tree, we can't really do much. Hidara's gonna eventually die. Sasuke's gonna come back, and then someone, be it Kawaki, be it Himawari, be it an Otsutsuki, they're gonna get rid of Jura because we got to get to the flash forward, and the flash forward seems like at the very least Jura's been taken care of. So
Well,
I really want.
if they kill Mamushi, they like I agree. One, you absolutely can't make another Shinju, and two, if it's like made up in your mind that you want to show what happens if someone like targets gets devoured, then go ahead and show that. But like I think like you can still kill Mamushi this arc. Nobody devours the target, and we move on, because it's like at the end of the day, the thing that's really important for them is the Otsutsuki. Like the whole target thing is like personal preference, and for interesting aspects and dynamics, is more so on Hidari's side, where it's like, okay, he himself said maybe I can get a Sharingan if I devour you. So that's open in the
Oh, that's
air.
right. Hidari
Mamushi,
also was devouring. Yeah, that's right. Hidari. Sorry to cut you off. Hidari was almost gonna devour Sarada too. Yeah.
yeah, so it's like he said that, and then he's like, maybe I can get the Sharingan if I almost devour you. And then we see Mamushi, he's like, he wants Ada's genetics and DNA, so that's why he wants to devour her. So that's like a personal preference type of thing. But if we kill off Mamushi, he doesn't complete his goal. Someone like Jura and Hidari can still like do damage without necessarily actually devouring their targets. And I think like for someone like Jura, I believe his actions can lead to the exposure that hey, Naruto's alive. Everybody, Kawaki's been lying. That's a huge repercussion that can play as opposed to him actually devouring Naruto. He comes so close, or his actions lead to an event where like everybody knows Naruto's alive. And then when it comes to Himawari, we know it's just the byproduct of wanting Kurama. So we can get pressure to the point where now we finally figure out, okay, does Kurama remember the world as it is, or does he remember the world as an omnipotent world? How does he proceed and process all these
I'm
things
still
going on
waiting
in
for
front
that.
of him?
I've said this
Yeah,
before, but I really want that Kurama talk, and I'm so mad we've had to wait years to get
so
it
like, that could
because
be
we
like the
haven't.
biggest thing for it. Like even
Yeah,
without devouring Himawari, it can lead from Jura going into that, and then even past that, like we know he's capable of having them just kill people. Ryu killed Yodo, so like Jura killed a couple Shinji, a couple Jonin. Let him kill somebody. I've been saying like Kashin Koji is possibly on the chopping block. Code is still a question mark. So like we can get some deaths in other major
I
ways
feel like
if because think about it right here. Even if we do devour and Ikimoto does show like, oh, this is what happens when you devour the target. I guarantee you it's gonna be like a reaction where like this is what we were waiting for. I'm like, oh, if you were anticipating it so long, yeah, this is probably an underwhelming outcome. So also that too.
if we do get Mamushi just be in this arc and we still have Ada, I feel like at that point you have to give us a Mamushi retrieval arc because they have no way of disposing of the Thorn Soul. So you either got to reintroduce Code and show us what Code's been doing for all this time, and have him try to get the Thorn Soul for Bug, or have Jura or Hidari try to retrieve Mamushi's Thorn Soul. Because if you do that, you can kill two birds with one stone. Send Hidari to the village. Uh, Goal A is to get Mamushi's Thorn Soul back. Goal B is to devour Sarada. I feel like if that happens, you have to have a Mamushi retrieval arc because you just unless we're shown that you can destroy the Thorn Soul
That
and
can't happen.
that you can just kill Bug. Imagine that you just
Maybe,
kill Bug by crushing
maybe,
the Thorn Soul.
maybe. What's the name?
Mm.
Maybe Kawaki or someone like Code or Kawaki, like they devour it, and it gives Kawaki the idea to like devour Jura in the future or something like
So
You
he
know
that.
if
eat
Kyle
it like a chakra fruit.
He literally just like, hold on, I can sense power from this mud. Let me just, and he's like, damn, like low key,
wouldn't
this
it be
is hell.
funny? Wouldn't it be funny if Kaoki seals the Thorn Soul in Daikokuten and then Jura can just see through
Also
that
that,
eye. He can just see through the eye of the Thorn Soul because I'm pretty
uh,
sure the Thorn Soul has the Rinnegan symbol. So if he can
that
just see
too.
through the Thorn Soul and see Boruto and see Naruto, Uzumaki, and Hinata, and just know for a fact that they're in the Daikokuten, that would be freaking hilarious. That yeah, Mamushi was useful. This Thorn Soul's just floating next to Naruto, and like Jura can just always see Naruto right there, so close yet so far. Have him be
Yeah,
poetic about it.
yeah, and that can lead to him exposing that Naruto's alive. So see, it works just like that.
But there's a whole ton of ways that the next few chapters can go, and I think that's what's so exciting because Ikamoto's always like keeping us on our toes to an extent. Like there's so many routes this can go. Like will Kobu give Boruto the benefit of the doubt for saving him, or will he double down and just think of Shikamaru as like a big time traitor and try to get rid of him? Like I really want to see where the political aspect goes. I really want to see the final the final like aspect of finally getting Himawari and Boruto together for more than 2 seconds. Like
Well,
you said, have
yeah.
Kurama give his insights to Himawari about the situation and just kind of have like Naruto's former friends just be with him. Like we know Shikadai's still not cool with him. We know Chojo's still not cool with him. We know Inojin's frosty with him, but he's kind of warming up to him, especially because he did save Kobu. Like Inojin wanted to save Kobu, Boruto did that for him. So we'd have
Yeah.
to think that that earns him some points. Plus the fact that he's working with Koji to save Himawari. So I really want to see the interactions with the others.
He has a lot of people he still needs to meet that we got to see how it goes down. So
Like it was easy for Mitsuki. Mitsuki just said, "Yeah, we're cool now. Like I don't care. I don't care about omnipotence. I can trust you now. I switched up.
yeah,
I
yeah,
used to
Mitsuki
be
is a
dude was tied to Kawaki like for years. The second Boruto gives him a sentence, he switched up. Dude hasn't talked to Kawaki in months.
literally because he know
Like this
what's
is
up.
that's good enough for me. Like Mitsuki said, yeah, I'm committing treason for you. You need to be freed. Bet your sword's in room 309. Go. Uh, yo, Shikamaru, do you want me to leave? I can definitely leave. I don't care about the consequences. I'll go help Boruto out. Like he switched up. Like omnipotence ain't got nothing on Mitsuki. He day one. He's day one.
Nah, facts. I think moving forward, like the political, like I keep saying, like he might open up the next volume and probably expand on this political plot line and story right after we close out this Mamushi thing. So I think we're gonna get a climax here, but I think people are looking at the wrong climax and focusing on if Mamushi devours Ada or how Ada is gonna get devoured, as opposed to like, okay, so once this mission ends, what's gonna happen with Shikamaru's position? Not just that, but like how is Lord Kobu going to present the intel that he's gathered upon his investigation within the Hidden Leaf? And how will he decide to move forward with the investigation?
100%.
One, and then like people like we got to think about it. Will Boruto stay within the village to partake in it? Will Kawaki get investigated? And will he
Will he
have
leave the
any type
village?
of information? Yeah, like what type of information will he be willing to give or not give? You know,
Plus,
so
we know for a fact that Sumire knows that Naruto's alive for a fact now. She has visual evidence. The recordings are in code in Amada's computer. That's
man,
basically a get
Sumari
out
been
of
holding on to that information longer than a
yes,
stone
but
age.
it's basically a get out of jail free card. If Boruto's ever in danger, all she's got to do is provide that computer, provide that information, provide that recording, and yeah, they know it. Like as a ninja, you got to know when the right time it is to give information. If you give information too early, you're screwed. If you give it too late, you're screwed. You got to find the exact perfect right time to where that information can benefit you. Right now, it's on a need to know basis. Right now, there's no benefit to telling the village what's going on with Boruto because right now Boruto can't have that. The village has to stay stable, and he's working with Kawaki temporarily right now. And I agree with you. I really need to see the political aspect because if Mamushi does get defeated, we can't do rinse and repeat. We can't just have okay, uh, Matsuri failed, Mamushi failed. Well, you know what, Hidari, it's your turn. Go hop to the village right now. It would feel repetitive. We have to do
Yeah.
something differently if Mamushi gets defeated. If that's a political arc, if the divine trees take a little cooldown off to the side, and we get a little political arc, we get a little something changing in the village while the divine trees are like cooking in the background, that'd be kind of cool. Because if it's just repetitive and then Hidari just shows up, it's gonna feel like really weird. Like we've had all these divine trees showing up and they've just been losing and without any real consequences other than the generic ninjas just dying. And you know how I feel about generic ninjas. Like we haven't seen any real name brand ninjas in a minute. And that's why I hope a political arc does give us Kakashi because he's like the only real person that could step in if Shikamaru is like indisposed. Because other than Kakashi, it's Sai.
I
Unless you
mean,
want to go
low
the Kawaki route.
low key, they've been like giving it more and more light throughout the entirety of TBV. Because if you think about it, we start off TBV, they always doing like introduction and splashes in between the Shinju arc as it like overhangs over the entire story. Because we start off TBV, it's like half and half. The whole village like Boruto's back. Everybody, Shikamaru, Sarada, they're talking about Boruto's good, Boruto's bad, codes invading, confusion. And then by the time we get to chapter 4, we're past all of the politicals and we're now on the Shinju stuff. So now, boom, we got the Shinju stuff going on. We introduce that and we focus on that for a little bit, and then we go right back to the politics with Boruto Mitsuki and all of that stuff is happening now. Boruto's being shown frequently coming back to the village, and then right in the midst of that, Jura and Hidari invade, so Boruto has to go right back to the village, and then we get some more Shinju stuff, take a little break, deal with more politics, and now we figure out, okay, there's a little friction between Sumire and Sarada on top of the politics. So sprinkle all this stuff in between the Shinju arc. So I think this is just like another example. Like right now, we did the back to back with both the Sand mission and this mission, but in between, we got development with Momoshiki Boruto, Himawari Kurama, Shikamaru in the politics, and now we're dealing with the main point of the entire arc, which is the Mamushi Shinju, but also showing us, okay, now it's getting bigger and bigger in terms of like Shikamaru and the politics aspects. Now we're implementing a little bit of the blindness with Sarada's Mangekyo, and we start to answer a little bit of the questions with Himawari and Kurama. So everything is being set up nicely, I think. And then the next arc, it doesn't really like he's implemented so many sprinkles of these side stories. He's gotten to a point where the next arc, he doesn't even have to really include the Shinju heavily, and he can focus on all of these things as a culmination and just keep it very political and very personal and grounded. So yeah, that's how I'm looking at this arc and its development. Am I the only one here right now?
No, I'm here. You cooking,
Oh
bro?
wait,
You cooking?
my mic
Oh, I
turned
was about to
off.
say,
My mic
yeah,
turned off.
I was
I was
about to
talking
say,
and my mic turned off.
I was like about to say, I was like, is somebody talking or yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
I said I agree with your points 100%, all of them. Like uh you said it perfectly. And just a little side note, because I know you're a big Daemon fan. And, it would be cool if Daemon wins, but if Daemon in his first real fight, like his first real like drawn out consequential fight, if he fumbles against Mamushi, the Daemon fans are going to be in the trenches. I'm sorry, like
There's no way.
the Daemon
That's
fans
not
have been
like
hyping.
that's true.
It's not
That's the
possible
truth.
for that to happen,
But
brother.
yeah,
No way.
it's not gonna happen
Like
though.
Come
Like
on, bro.
I'm 100% with you guys. Strength wise, Daemon has it, but strength doesn't win a battle. It doesn't always win a
Yeah.
battle.
it
Yeah, the
So
only
doesn't.
other thing that could win a battle is if he outsmarted him, but it's good that, Mamushi's really dumb, so it's
see,
like,
that's
yeah,
what I'm
what is
afraid
he
of,
gonna
though.
do?
That's what I'm afraid of because Daemon
Yeah.
knows the weakness of Mamushi, but if he gets arrogant and starts killing off the Mamushis and leaving a few, they will gradually gain their intelligence back.
Yeah.
The correct option is to gather them all together and like kill them in one fall swoop for the most part. So if he lets his battle lust get the best of him, if he gives Mamushi a chance to like reassemble his mind and he fumbles it, I'm sorry to the Daemon fans,
But
but
I'm trying to
it's gonna be
understand,
the
like,
trench.
why is Mamushi just so smart that he can come up with a plan to defeat Damon? It just seems like oddly, like,
That's the thing about it.
unlikely.
Niggas forget though, my nigga Bug, he was a top scientist
Yes.
at Bro's hideout. He was there keeping watch over
Yeah,
the
he knows
side
about
points
that.
for a reason. You
Plus, he
feel me?
knew about Damon's abilities. He just overestimated Code. He thought Code would have the physical power to be able to
Exactly.
deal with
Yeah.
Damon. We gotta remember, at the very least, in one hypothetical timeline, Mamushi was able to pull it off. He was able to devour Ada. So either he had to separate Damon from Ada, or Damon just did something
Well,
stupid, which gave him the opening. Because we know Damon's been with Ada. There was like unless he separates,
That's the thing. He
he's
has to separate.
yeah,
It's
he
like
he can
there-
he can get
it's not that
separated and not
that
lose the
has
fight.
to be the key. He separated
Mhm.
them, and Damon overestimated the
yeah. That's what
situation
I'm
or
saying.
underestimated the situation, I would say, and
Yes.
that's how Ada got killed. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's what
the
I'm saying.
only
If he
way.
fumbles that, because it might not be a power loss, because off stats alone, if Damon believes he's still stronger than Boruto and Kawaki, that means he should be stronger than Mamushi. So if he
Man,
fumbles it,
Damon's strong. Man, y'all know my.
He's stronger than Mamushi.
We
You can see
talking
it
in
on
my
his
book.
face in the
Damon is
last
stronger
chapter.
than Zoro,
100%.
bro.
Like
Yeah.
off stats, he's stronger than Mamushi. But if it was pure power, Koji would have told us it's pure power. He would have just sent Damon, like, Damon, this guy's gonna eat your sister. Go kill him right now. But Koji's been maneuvering everything around to try to get the best possible
The,
future.
the the problem with this also is that we don't know if Mamushi actually devours Ada either.
I can see that, but then it would have to be like what
Because
happened then. Because
we already kind of went over how like people devour their targets or they try to devour their targets, which is like injuring them. Seemingly, you can maybe say even eating them, but not turning them into a tree necessarily.
well, so far we've had a few different scenes.
Zoro
So, for
about to turn
example,
him a warrior into a tree.
we've had Himawari getting cased in wood, and it seemed to be forming a tree around her. So we have this where she's being encased. Then we have Sarada uh getting kind of encased by Hidara, the only one who was really in pain was Konohamaru, and we can chalk that up kind of
That's what
to
that's what
Hatsura just
love
being
does to
pissed.
you. Yeah, I'm saying that's what love does. She that's
So
her version of
Yeah,
scratching
we
up his
so what
BMW.
I'm saying is like devouring is sort of interpretational, right? Like they have different ways of
yeah,
devouring their target. So like we don't know what way Mamushi has in devouring his
and then
target and whether or not. Yeah.
at the end of the day, it just goes to whether do you want to take Koji at face value or not. And if we don't take him at face value, what is his real end goal? What is he hiding? And what does he really want to accomplish with all this back and forth? Does he really have like a set timeline he can follow, and that he has to gaslight Bards into doing all these things or believing that they're gonna die? Because there's so many different like topics. So if you take him off face value, like just hypothetically, if we're off face value, Mamushi did it. That means in some shape or form, Daemon had to
Damon
had to at the
lost.
very least get distracted. I don't think
Yeah,
it's a power
exactly.
situation.
Definitely distracted, especially if more Shinju come to Konoha. It's not
Yes,
just
because
Mamushi.
power isn't the end all be all. You can win a fight with while being weaker if you plan it right, if you play it smart, if you use your enemy's weaknesses against them. We know Damon's analytical. He might not look it, but he is a tactician in his own right. He's able to sense power. He's able to perfectly figure out how techniques work. He was able to figure out how Uzuhiko worked just by sensing it. So it would have to be seeing a fully realized Mamushi, a fully intact mentally Mamushi, see how he deals with Daemon. Because it could be as
Mm,
simple as Daemon getting
He's gonna
distracted.
get wiped. There's
mm.
no way he's gonna be able to deal with Damon by himself. It would have to be something like he's overwhelming Damon,
Yes.
distracting him.
Because we know
He doesn't necessarily win the fight against Damon, but
he
he
just he just
distract.
plays smarter. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, he just
Exactly.
outsmarts him. Yeah,
So
yeah. I
right
mean
now we
that's
know
fine.
I'm gonna tell you,
right
this
now
is
we
what's
know
gonna
there's
happen. Nigga, they gonna leave. They're gonna lead all 100, 250, 200, however many clones to wherever. They're gonna walk in front of them on some Madara versus Shinobi Alliance. He gonna aim his finger, let off the biggest water pistol niggas ever seen in their life. And then he gonna hear
Uh,
a scream in the background. He gonna turn around like, oh shit. And then that's gonna be Ada getting devoured. That's how it's gonna happen. That's exactly how it's gonna
Because
happen.
with the user specifically, it doesn't say that he loses intelligence from making more clones. So maybe he just sends himself after Ada while the other, dumb ones are distracting Damon.
so so from what Mamushi's been saying, not Mamushi, what Kobu's been saying is that they're all Mamushi at the end of the day. If you kill Mamushi A, Mamushi B is going to become Mamushi A. So it seems like they have different levels of intelligence. They have different levels of mental stats. And I would have to double check, but I think a few Japanese people said that the Japanese version had him slurring his words a bit more, kind of like he was drunk. I would have to double check with a few Japanese speakers. So it seemed like the English translation kind of cleaned it up a bit. So it would have to depend on the different types of mamushis, because it seems like there's a there's a bit of a, what's the word for it? It's not a one-to-one intelligence stat. Like it seems a few of the mamushis are a bit
Or
smarter than the
smarter
other
than the
ones.
others.
Yeah. So they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
physically all their other stats are the same. They're all mamushi, but it seems mamushi A, B, C, and D all have different ranging levels of intelligence. One could be slightly dumber, one could be slightly smarter.
Yeah.
That's the vibe that I'm getting from the mamushis, especially in this current chapter where one of them just like went rabid and attacked, and the other one says, "What are you doing?" So it seems like a few of them are able to like still focus on basic
Reason.
stuff. Yes, basic
Yeah.
reasoning.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to see. Like we know at some point Ada did get devoured. If we take Koji off face value, we just don't know how. I don't think it's a power situation. I think Daemon either got arrogant or he got outsmarted, which I really want to see how that would happen, because it feels like it shouldn't happen, but it
I
did
wouldn't
somehow.
even say he got outsmarted either. You can just say again, he just underestimated
Yeah.
Mamushi, right? Like
The
he just thought,
situation.
yeah, exactly. Like he just thought it was gonna be way too easy, or easier than he thought it would be, and then Mamushi took advantage of
Yes.
that. I wouldn't even say
Plus,
it was a smart thing, because the smart thing is kind of just weird too, just because he's
plus
so dumb. Like,
we know that Daemon doesn't like Bug. He doesn't care for Bug. So him
mm,
seeing quote unquote Bug, he's already gonna go in there with like, Bug's fighting me, really? You've gotten uglier. So it's gonna be a situation where right off the gate, he's not gonna see Mamushi as a threat. just
Yeah.
because he's tied to Bug, just because they have that history.
Yeah, and especially when you know also see how much Boruto and Kawaki are fucking up Mamushi as well. Like it's like if he thinks he's stronger than them, it just
Yeah,
incentivizes it even
physically,
more. Like Chocho is knocking off his head, like evaporating his head. Like it's like, come on, bro. Like,
like
damn it,
physically,
yeah.
physically, he has to be stronger than Mamushi because Boruto and Kawaki are stronger. Damon's a good a judge of power for the most part, so he would know if they're stronger than him. Since he hasn't acted, he doesn't care. He's stronger. So right now, he is literally second, like other than Jura, because Jura seemingly is stated to be able to not be beaten no matter what
Man,
currently.
Oh,
even
you think
Koji, like
Jura is
even
stronger than Damon?
heck no,
Just
I
just
don't
off
think so.
just off using
Because I think the statement is applicable. Like you can say it's applicable to all of the Shinju since he's the commander and the leader. Like if he wants, he can just literally go into Konoha with all of them and potentially defeat Damon.
I could also see that 100%. I just feel like
Mm.
going off face value, it seems like if Jura enters the village, if you piss him off, you don't even have a 1 in a million chance. I'm like, it's not a direct quote. I'm just stating from memory. So it
Really,
seems
very
like,
unlikely chance. Yeah.
yeah. So
Basically.
it seems like even if they had Damon, they wouldn't really be able to best Jura because if it was as simple as Damon going to fight Jura, they would have did it already. So
The
it feels
reason
like they
why
gotta plan more. They gotta
the
plan a
reason
bit more. They
Well,
gotta
it's
set
because he
everything
has
up.
teammates. He
the
he
reason
has allies. That's the reason why.
nah
Because
man,
we already see with Mamushi with his clones how much trouble he's giving them by himself. So like imagine Hadari, imagine Juro on top of that. Like yeah, that's going to be a very dangerous situation.
I
man.
can see that. I feel like we'll just have to see what happens when Jura is that last divine tree, because then we'll really get into what's going on. Because if he is the last one, what will he do? Will he go? Will he go make more divine trees again? B, go try to devour Kawaki, or C, just I don't know, read Tales of the Gutsy Ninja or something. I don't know. So
Bro,
it's
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
we
Damon would kick the head off of Jura's shoulders so astonishingly Jura would want to write a poem about it, bro. Like I'm trying to get like the reason why they haven't met yet is because Ikimoto don't know what to do. Like that's like the most obvious
I think
thing
he
for
does.
both of these characters. I don't think he knows like is and then the underlining factors for both characters is like every time we see Jura, he's chilling, he's not worried about nothing. Yet at the same time, every time we see Damon, he's chilling and he's not worried about nothing. And we know Damon has sensed Jura's power, he sensed Boruto's power, he's reacted to Boruto's power, he sensed Kawaki's power. And if everything still aligns with this character and remaining in character, as we've seen him tell Code, it doesn't matter if you're number 2 or number 3 because young nigga right here is number 1. So that's how he still feels,
That's
and
true.
that's why I have to roll with Damon over Jura.
This is the
you know,
biggest Daemon blazer in the world.
Yeah, and
So
his abilities are broken. Like, okay, getting over an ability like that is extremely unlikely, right? Especially when you compare it to Jura's skill set. Because, I mean, Jura, at least from what we've seen, he doesn't really have a special skill set. I mean, he does Biju bombs, which is cool. He can, like, punch people really hard. But I don't. I mean, he can use the Divine Tree, which is cool too, I guess. But he's not really doing anything as special as Damon. And if you put them in a fight, I just don't know how Jura is going to overcome his reflection ability.
You
Unless we're gonna
can't,
say
bro.
like Jura's blitzing him, which is also gonna be really weird to say.
I feel like the question becomes: does Damon just lose because of Kawaki getting devoured? Do we give it
I
do we give
think
it a
that's what
50-50?
happens. And
So Jura gets
most
stronger.
worlds, no, most worlds, Kashin Koji sees Boruto or Kawaki are getting devoured, and Damon is off screen. So Damon can't help if the world is ending around him. Like, but hey, if he's fighting the ones for the sake or the stakes of the world, bro, he may not be a superhero, but just for the relish the moment in battle, like for the thrill of it, he's not losing to Jura, bro.
Yeah,
He
especially
might beat
based on
Jura
y'all
so bad. He's
theory.
like, get up, bro. Go to that. Where's that tree at? You heal yourself again. You feel me? Like,
Facts,
I
facts.
mean, I guess we'll just have to see. I'm in the
Because
vein. I'm personally in the vein of Jura being stronger than Damon. We'll just have to really see. And I feel like we'll get a definitive answer in the next chapter when we
yeah,
see how he deals with Mamushi.
think
I
about
just want
this. Think about
because
oh,
this
I was
though.
gonna say
I
with
was
y'all
Imagine,
theory, if y'all think Ada is supposed to get devoured, that helps it even more. Because like, what if Damon is fighting Ada and Jura in the future? Like,
that's crazy.
that'd be
that's
But think about
crazy.
this, right? Just off of what we've seen, right? What's stopping? Like, let's say in the same situation where Boruto was in chapter 4, where all the Shinju was looking at him face to face on the ground and stuff. Like, according to the explanation we got within chapter 1, I'm gonna just start light because I don't feel like pissing people off. What's stopping Sarada from looking Matsuri, Hidari, Ryu, and Mamushi in the eye and just destroyed all of them at once? You feel me? We seen her destroy 20 of these niggas. So what's stopping her from like going to the Shinju hideout, just looking at these niggas? It exploded
Wait,
them.
Wow.
that actually gives like it actually makes me think because we know gravity wise, not a lot of people are able to resist gravity. Even Kaguya was getting subjected to gravity on one of her dimensions. Would Jura have enough physical ability to bypass Ohirume's gravity manipulation?
He doesn't need
I
that. He
think
just needs to be able to use his Biju bomb and then destroy the orb.
Ooh, that's also true. The question
Yeah.
is though,
if he can destroy the orb,
yeah, the
If he
question is
can.
though, he probably could. The question is though, if it gets him on the back, like
But if she
with
looks at
Mia,
it, like that's all she needs.
yeah,
Also, she has to be able to see Jura. So if like Jura is like blitzing her, her perception speed, then
That's what
that
I'm
also
saying. Like if
forces it
she
to
walks
work
into
on.
the hideout and just looks at all of them in that instant, what's stopping her from killing them? That's possible. Also, we've seen because of someone like Daemon, we've seen like
Mhm.
you can blitz her before she activates the orbs. It's
Right.
possible.
Yeah.
Yet for a
Exactly.
regular
and I'm
face off in
sure.
battle, say that
I'm
again.
no, I was gonna say, and I'm sure Jura already knows about this ability. He's
I
seen it
mean, I
through.
don't think. Well, yeah, he did see it
Yeah, he's
through.
connected to the
He,
minds of the other Shinju, so
yeah.
he should know
So
about it.
he might
he
be. That's
saw
why. That's why.
he
When
saw
you think
Jura
when he
die
popped up and
contra
he saw
Ryu.
Sarada knock, he was like, "Yeah, I don't want no parts of that, bro. He ain't messing with Sarada." He's like, "Yeah, let's just leave her alone." You feel me? That's just weird. Some
He had
weird
bigger
shit she got
plans,
going.
man. He had to go for that boy, the young goat, man, the young prince, man. Hey, look.
Hey,
Damon
all
is
right,
not strong.
all
Man,
right.
I'm telling y'all, Damon is beating the brakes off of Jura, bro. I don't know why
Facts. No, you
people
cooking.
question
You
him.
cooking. You
Like,
cooking.
yeah, bro. I
I
be
don't
trying
know,
to
I
man.
tell
We
agree.
you.
gonna see.
I think Damon the strongest for sure right now.
We gonna
Absolutely.
see. We gonna see for sure. But I had asked a question prior. I don't think Juju was on, but I left a poll and I said, "Will Damon fight Mamushi in chapter 32 or 33?" Black said 32. I said 33. And I think the poll agreed with me on 33. Yeah, we got 71% on 33. What about you? What do you think?
Fuck the post.
What
Let me
do
stop.
you see him have them fighting in 30 the next chapter or the chapter after?
I
Said fuck
see
the
it.
poll.
I see it in the next chapter because it feels like what can we really fill in the next chapter to cover the 200 mom she's getting to the safe house? Because we gotta remember the safe house is in the outskirts of the village. So you might be right. It might go to 33. But for it to go
Yeah.
to 33,
Mhm.
you have to fill stuff in. What are we gonna
Yeah.
fill in chapter
Yeah.
32 to stall for that? Because it's realistic.
Give us some more.
She's not technically in the village. She's technically just in the outskirts in the safe house. That might take a while to get there.
my
The
my
question
whole
is,
stance
Yeah.
my whole stance was like the fight. We will see the fight within 32. I don't think it's gonna
it's gonna end. Yeah, it's
start
not gonna
and
end.
end in
Yeah,
32. I think it's gonna
No, that's not
start
my
in
question. I'm
32.
talking about starting, just starting
I don't
period.
like.
Oh yeah,
I don't
for
know.
sure. It has to be
Uh,
32. It has
yeah.
to
I
Yeah,
be.
I'm
feel like
gonna.
it has to be a cliffhanger because we got to remember
Yeah.
that this chapter ends the volume. So if you see Damon standing in front of 200 Mamushis, that's a good cliffhanger.
Yeah.
That can
That's
sell
what I'm
volume.
saying.
Is
So
this? Is
the
it? Wait.
next
Did was the
chapter should
question
be that.
specifically? Was the question when it starts? Is that the
Yeah, when
question?
a fight starts, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I think the fight's gonna start at the end of. I don't even think. Actually, I think. Yeah, I think he's gonna show up at the end of 32.
and
And
it's
then I
gonna
think
start on
we
33.
might see one feat. We might see him like one shot of Mamushi clone, and then it'll be kind of similar to you remember when he like destroyed Code and he's like, yeah, I'm number one. I'm not number two or number three. It's probably gonna be something like that. Cool cliffhanger, kind of like what Ryzen said. Bunch of Mamushis in front of him, and then extending into 33. that's where we're gonna get more of him like just destroying the Mamushi clones for at least most of the chapter, and then that'll be cool. Maybe get some Daemon lore. Maybe he uses some new ability or something that we haven't seen. You know, we Daemon and
Ooh,
Ada got a lot of secrets that we don't know about, so
ooh,
like
thoughts.
that would be cool too.
Adding on to your point, thoughts. We know Damon's a good judge of power, right?
Yeah.
For the
Yeah.
most part. What if he says, "Wow, you've powered up, Bug. You're even stronger than Jigen and Code." How do you think the fan base is gonna react?
They're gonna be hating like they have been, bro. Like
They gonna be
he's
like,
already
wait,
made
are
it
you
a
talking
point
about?
since.
They're gonna be like, are you talking about Jigen with the Ten Tails amp or without the Ten Tails amp?
Yeah,
That's
bro.
what they're
Like
gonna
he
say.
already made it a
That's what
point,
they're gonna
even in
say.
part one. He was like, bro, I don't care about Otsutsuki, no Tsuki, Naruto, Uchiha. It don't matter, bro. He said everything, bro, is below him. So we have to take that at word value because one, he's never fought at full power in his life. And two, we see him how he acts when he feels like his actions deserve, like when he feels like the things around him deserve his action or reaction. And if it doesn't, he's chilling. He might giggle or laugh, but he's not really like, he's not doing nothing for real. Like, even at the end of this chapter, he's like, bro, we could have done this from the jump. I'm just been complying with y'all, gang. But like, now that we keeping it simple, it's time to get gritty. Like, let's keep it moving.
They was so cold. Ooh, the
I'm
ghost.
saying, like,
Yeah,
Damon's
no, in
really
the
out here,
32,
bro.
we definitely got to get like him do. I'm saying in the 32, we definitely got to see at least one punch from Damon. It don't have to be the whole fight. Just at least let us see him destroy a Mamushi clone, bro. Like, come on.
Do we
I can see him aura farming and just like facing off with them, letting them know that like I'm number one. Like this is your
do we
last.
think do we think he'll get another Shinjutsu ability? Because Ada has the Senrigan, she has Omnipotence, she has Otsutsuki Flight. Right now, Damon
I
has
think it's a
physical speed.
regular. I think it's a regular ninjutsu ability. I'm trolling when I say like the water style, but I really do want him to have like the most
I
basic
thought
of
the
shit. But it just adds like, because right now we've only seen him throw hands. Like
I
that's
thought
all he's
it was
been
the
throwing them
reflection
bitches. That's
ability
all
was.
he's been doing. So
I
like
thought
he
the,
needs a. Wait, say that.
I thought the reflection ability was his.
Well, that yeah. I'm saying aside from like reflecting other people's attacks, like him personally, what he's able to do, like he's only been able to like throw hands. So
Well, he can attack.
since
He can
No,
reflect
what
physical attacks, and he also can inflict or reflect intent as
reflect
well.
intent. So yeah,
You
that's why
know.
I don't think he should have another Shinjutsu. It could be a simple ninja, like he just has water style or he has fire style, and he's just OP strong with it. Like they shouldn't give him another hacks because that's too much.
They're just not. It's just like they're not going in that direction. Like they've been writing these guys to be super strong, just to be something completely different from your average or conventional shinobi. So it's like to give him something that anyone else could use would just be a bit weird.
mhm.
Nah, that would be a part of it, but also in terms of like his utilization, because that plays into what you said. Like Ikimoto did in an interview couple like last year, I was about to say a couple years ago, when he was like, Ada and Damon are dressed the way they are. They represent the cosmos and stars because their powers are otherworldly and out of this world. They're not shinobi, so that makes sense. That's true, but also it plays into the fact like everybody on the world in this verse has chakra, and everybody has like a chakra affinity. So it could just be like his natural affinity. He just uses that, or he doesn't really uses that. Like maybe if he's in a situation where like, okay, you figured out my attacks and somehow you blocked off your mind from thinking bad things about me, but you're not trying to get close. I'm gonna stand here and shoot this fucking projectile jutsu at you because like
I
that's the
mean,
only other thing
Right.
I can
So,
do.
I mean, hell,
You know?
what if he pops out with an Uzuhiko? Dude knows
Now
about
that's
planetary
crazy.
spin.
That's
Mm.
Dude,
crazy.
dude knows about planetary spin. Dude perfectly deciphered that jutsu. Dude knows the inner mechanics and the inner
What
theories of
what
all
do y'all
these
think he would
techniques.
do if he got hit with that? Because the way he laughed at it, he's like, "That's
That's
interesting." So, like,
nifty.
what do you
That's,
think?
that's a nice
Yeah.
toy. Dude really said, yeah. Dude basically said that's a nice toy, Boruto. Yo, maybe I'll
Hold
steal it
on,
for
low
myself.
keto, and even when Jura reacted, he was like, interesting jutsu, Boruto Uzumaki." So
I
I'm
got a
just
question for
saying.
y'all.
but that
Do
wasn't
y'all
He's
think
full
that
saying.
power though.
ability
That
will?
wasn't full power though. You gotta remember that he wasn't
Hey,
able
I
to
got
get
a
a
question
full
for y'all. Do
full.
y'all think the Uzuhiko will work on somebody using a drunken fist?
Because they're already disoriented.
Yeah,
I feel like
they
that would
already
have to
But it
depend.
fucks
disoriented.
up their equilibrium
Low
though. So
key,
even if
if
they're using
Boruto hits Rock Lee with the Uzumaki and Rock Lee just turns around and starts whooping ass, I'm gonna be like,
that,
yeah, that's your fault,
I,
Boruto.
I feel like
Like,
I feel like if he does the one that he did against Code and Jura, it wouldn't have an effect because the drunken fist is equilibrium is already shot. But if he does
yeah,
a
that's
full
what I'm
powered
saying.
one where it disintegrates them, then no.
Yeah.
So it depends
If
on the
he
Nah,
verse.
if he don't disintegrate him, it's nothing but a
Yeah,
power up to Rock Lee.
nah,
That's all
yeah.
it
it
is.
will be about to. That's what I was just about to say. It'll be a Super Saiyan fucking drunken fist, bro.
Yeah, that's all it
I ain't
is a
gonna lie.
power up.
Some people were disagreeing with Damon above Jura. I'm not gonna lie. Free game. If you want to hold like Damon versus Jura talks, bro, I'm more than happy to convince some people, man. That boy Damon's the
Yeah.
goat.
I don't know how people are like ignoring all of the signs, but yeah, it's there, bro. Damon's
I
stronger
mean,
than Jura.
you free too. I know Ryzen got a dip out. I don't know if you want to stay a little bit, but yeah, you can go ahead and break down because I see it in
Oh
the
no,
chat.
we already talked about it. We already talked about it.
Oh, we're okay. I
Nah,
was
I mean,
listening.
yeah, we could have it. We could host a community pod
Yeah, I
probably
was
this
saying a
weekend.
community pod with
Oh,
people from
yo
the
ass.
community on here. Yeah,
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 we
yeah,
yeah
yeah.
we could
Get some
host a
Yo,
people in the chat
community
with us.
yo,
pod this
I
weekend.
don't trust Juju on the community pods, bro.
Bro,
Wow,
come on,
he
bruh.
was wildin'.
Juju is a grade A crash out, bro.
Hey man, it's sometimes you gotta get a little loud to let a nigga understand your point is
No,
really
you don't,
stupid.
bro.
That's
No, you don't understand, bro. I'm gonna send you some clips. I'm gonna send you a clip. I'm gonna try to find it. Juju.
Man, he's talking about baby Juju, man. Black Uchi. I
you.
don't listen to him,
Hold
bro. He's
on,
talking about
You cut off. Hold on, he muted. Say something, free game.
Oh, can you hear me?
Shit, what the fuck, bro? Hold on. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
only
hop right
does that.
back in before we end. Hold on.
That's always him. When we host community pods, not we haven't done it often, but I'll
bro,
do
you
it.
gotta make the new cloud. When are you gonna make the cloud server, bro? You gotta get if you do the community pods for the cloud
Rain
server, it'll
hating
be
ass
lit.
in the chat just said that I need to go, so I don't know. But he just hit me about moderating it, so I'll say about it. Whenever I do, I'll put it in the community tab and I'll send it to you, Juju.
Bet.
It's the same. It's gonna be the same server. I still have it on there.
Hmm? Oh, you talking about the one you already got?
Yeah, it's still up. I just
Oh
don't be
yeah,
on
I'm
it.
already in there.
Yeah, I don't be on it. But yeah, we'll see what's up. I'll drop it in the community for anybody who wanna join the Discord. We'll do some community discussions sometime soon. I just be busy as hell recently, and then I'm trying to start this Marvel channel too. So I've been a little tied
Jira
up.
isn't above Ishiki as well. Oh man, that guy's smoking.
Oh, hold on, Black Uchiha's probably back. I forgot I gotta let him up.
Yeah,
All
man.
right, my bad, Black.
Nah, you good, man. I just wanted to
What
make
was
sure
you
no
asking
more.
me?
Wait, what?
You couldn't hear me. I forgot what I was saying.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you were saying something, and then you had cut out in the middle. I was like, damn, what was he saying?
What was I?
I'm not sure.
What you hear? Oh, okay, never mind then. Fuck it.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm not. I'll forget. I just came back in there. I'm like, yeah, make sure no more Damon disrespect is going on in here. So I was like, let me hop back in, hurry up.
Oh, my fault. My fault. My fault.
Man,
All
Black
right.
Uchiha also got his
I don't
thing
want to
on
smoke with
YouTube
Black
too.
Uchiha. You said what?
I was saying Black Uchiha got like some influence on YouTube too. Like if he could collaborate on the server and shit like that. I don't know how much he'd be on core, but that type of stuff would definitely be helpful, bro. Like
Man, I attempted,
where's
man.
Bar?
I got a channel. It's like a loyal, like 20 plus niggas up in there. They be in there. I don't be in
Yo,
there,
we used
bro.
to have
Oh, you
hundreds
got
in
your
the
own
core.
server?
I do have a server. This niggas that
Oh yes,
join.
invite me to that, bro. On core, invite me to
Yeah, we
your
used to
network.
have like hundreds in the old server back in the day.
I
Bar
invite you.
You got to
people
do a
keep asking.
poll, bro. You got to do a poll and ask people, do y'all want to like do it? Because it's not really gonna be the same if you don't have the people in there that's really want to be in there. So you gotta ask the
Bro, I
community if
had
they want to do it.
I don't even know if the nigga watching the video. I don't mean no shade, gang, but like it was like two niggas that they offered to be ambassadors in that shit. They was doing good for like a couple weeks. I'll pop in and out, be like, yeah, but them niggas is ghosted, bro. They don't say shit no more. So, but
Hey,
that's how life be.
real quick, Black, because people keep on asking about Bar, bro. I just want to say on the air, bro, we haven't spoken to Bar. We don't know what's going on, Bar. So prayers up to Bar. We don't know what's like. We haven't spoken to him in like what, like probably like the last month. I want to say
Since New Year's he spoke to us and then we haven't heard.
the last podcast we did with him. I want to say we haven't heard from Bar. So I mean, he hasn't even uploaded on his channel. So I don't know if he quit the pod or like what he's doing. But I think if he would have quit the pod, he still would be uploading on
He
his
would have
channel.
said something. Yeah.
Yeah, he would have said something, or still like even if he was like ignoring us, he probably would have still be uploading on his channel and shit. So I don't know, especially with the new chapter dropping and stuff. I don't see him like missing the opportunity on the revenue. So we don't know, bro. Like we can't really
My
answer
head
that.
canon is that he took a trip to the motherland and he thought his
Yeah,
text hit send before he hopped on a plane, and it just never did. So he was just like, "Fuck it." But we'll
yeah,
see, man. He'll come
yeah.
back
We'll see.
around.
We'll keep you guys updated. Yeah, just for now on, we'll when you see Bar pop up on the pod and you know he back. But for right now, we don't know. So like, I mean, we can't answer no questions for y'all. We don't know. We really don't. But Bar, if you listening though, bro, we love you. Thank you everybody for joining us on today's podcast. Like I said, we're gonna be doing it on YouTube, but I do it as members only. So if you want to join the member program, then please do that. If not, then we'll be live streaming on Twitch, and I'll still upload the podcast, the full podcast on YouTube. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. Shout out to Juju. Subscribe to his channel. Juju, drop your link in the comments so they can subscribe to your channel, buddy. Subscribe to Juju's channel, and we'll catch y'all later.
All right, peace out, fellas.
Peace. Oh, Juju, stick around real quick too, in black. Hold on.
I need to start back doing my YouTube stuff, man.
Are we still live? I think we're live.